do I want to vibe to today? Where is that Dustin Conrad? Recently added. Oh damn. Hey y'all, happy Sunday. I'm gonna be doing some readings today. I'll be doing some free one card pulls, and just talking, chatting, the usual. Let me get on. Wow, that's fucking hot. But yeah, I'll be doing some one card pulls and some readings today. Somebody using my content. I'll have to. Usually I'm passenger, princess. I feel like I'm on edge, and I need a witness to let me down. It could be you. Are you around? And oh damn, I didn't even see this. Anyways, hey Ebony, I'm sorry y'all. YouTube has sent me this message that somebody was like using 75% of my content for something. I was confused. So yeah, I'll be doing some free one card pulls today. I'll also be doing if y'all want like a 3-card pull, those are 22, or a full reading. I'll do full readings for 22 today. But yeah, I'm doing really good. I had to take a little break because I was tired. I had traveled to go see family and stuff, and that just wore me out because I like traveled to Indianapolis and then we had to go to Alabama, so we like back in the day, every summer we used to drive to Alabama because that's where my people was from, Montgomery. And so it's like a tradition. So instead of just flying there, I flew home, which was 4 hours, and then we drove. And we went to Pensacola first. So we went to Florida, which is 10 hours. And I drove like 9 hours right after getting off the plane. And then we drove back up 3 hours to Alabama, hung out with my family, then we drove home, and then I had to get on the plane the next morning. And so that was just too much. That was too much for me. And I had to take a 2-week break because of it. Because I could not deal with that. Hey, Jazzy. So I'll be doing some free 1-card pulls today. Girl, yes, but I loved it though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like just singing in the car with my mom, and me and my mom have like the same music taste. In like old school music, you know, so it was really good because I got to hang out with my mom and we would scream singing, getting on my brother's fucking nerves, and it just was good, like seeing my family and seeing my uncle happy, because I feel like I don't think my uncle has truly been happy since my papa died, which will be 4 years next week. And so he was just around his childhood family, like meaning like them is the people he grew up with, and he just was so happy and just so whatever, and it just was interesting. And I was like, Uncle, do you like my hair? And he said, baby, I like anything you do, and if they don't like it, fuck them. And I said, period. So it just was good. And then I also got to see my grandparents, because both of my dad's parents, because this was my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family lived there too, in Montgomery. So I got to see them, and they had both just had major surgeries. And I got to talk to my granddad about his life, because I don't really know nothing about my dad's parents, even though I went to go visit them like almost every summer, you know, like they was just like old, tiny, like southern suburban type of folk. And so when I was a kid, I just felt really judged by them, because we was not at all like those type of black people. Like we was from the hood type of black people. They was like pool in the backyard type of black people, you know. And so we just, you know, treaded very lightly around them when we was kids. So when I was there, I was talking to my granddad and I was asking him, like, you know, like, how was your, oh, this is my song. Have y'all heard Destin Conrad's new alternative jazz CD? If y'all haven't, y'all should listen to it. Like, it's really cute. But I talked to my granddad and I found out that he was a sharecropper, and my grandma was like a farmer. Like they owned their own land, you know, they did peaches, cotton, figs, like that whole nine. But he said a sharecropper, and I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I did not understand what a sharecropper was, but I knew that they was farmers or whatever. And so we was talking about that, and he was talking about how, like, when he was a kid, like, they had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go, you know, feed the pigs, take care of the horses, do something with the donkeys, like, and then he was like, it was like real hard work. Like, I was always tired. But they shared land with white people, and the way that they paid to be on that land is that they had to share their crops, or like, if they needed help, the white people would help them. If the black people needed help, they would help the white people. I mean, if the white people needed help, the black people would help the white people. And I was just like, oh damn, so did they like you? And he was like, no, they needed us. And he just couldn't get away, like he couldn't wait to get away from that life. And I thought that was interesting, because I guess I never really understood what a sharecropper was. But it also is interesting because they came from different backgrounds, except for her family owned her land, whereas his family didn't, because she is black folk, but they're Native American. So their land was protected. So it's interesting because I got a chance to just talk to my folks and get to know my grandparents better, which I hadn't. Got a chance to, I was doing ancestry and stuff like that. And so like I was getting secondhand knowledge. Like I found like a marriage certificate or something on my grandma's side, and it was in her handwriting, which was so weird. It said her name, but it was for, like, it could not have been her. And that's how I found out that her and her mama had the same name. And she's like a junior without being a junior. So I don't know, it just was interesting. I loved it. And I think it also was a test for me too, because my family is like the drinking, smoking kind, playing cards, you know, like karaoke, scream, yell at everybody, drunk, everybody, whatever. And I've been sober this whole year. And so I was nervous going back into that environment, because it's so easy for me to collapse back into the bullshit. And I held my own this time. Like, I did not drink. I drank coffee. You know, I stuck to my guns. And it just was a good feeling, because I was scared. I was nervous. I was really nervous. Hold on. So yeah, it was interesting. And then outside of that, I've just been reading a lot of books, y'all. I don't know what I get obsessed with things, and then I cannot stop being obsessed. And so I read a whole book series, which was the Imperium series. It's like it's about dragon riders and shit like that in the military school, whatever. And then I read the Plated Prisoner series, which made me realize that I must be traumatized, because some of the people are like, this book is so dark, and I'm just like, oh, this is a regular Tuesday, if you ask me. So I read most of all that series, and then I'm almost through A Court of Thorn and Roses, which I think I got 3 more books with that. And I've also read The Love Song, or The Love Story to Ricky Wilde, which I'm probably going to finish tonight. So I've just been doing a lot, trying to find joy in life outside of, like, you know, everything being so consumed in spirituality, because I feel like, you know, you can be multifaceted, multidimensional. But another thing too, though, is like, y'all, I really love my work. I know I say it all the time, but like me shifting around my services recently, and these new services that I'm providing, the flame lineage readings, like, I find so much joy in doing these. And I have been so excited about, like, just like, I'll be tapping into somebody's energy, doing like some behind the scenes work, and I get so excited and I can't wait to talk to the person. It's such a shift from you know, waking up every morning and being like, damn, I gotta go to work, to waking up and being excited to talk to my clients. Like, it's such a good shift, and I'm really just, I don't know, excited about it. And I've been doing a lot of past life stuff, which is new for me, because I feel like with my gift, me only being a professional medium for like the last 2.5, maybe 3 years, I guess I just don't know the limitations or the bounds of my gift. And so recently, as I'm doing these past life regression situations to figure out what vows they need to kind of look at, or what happened in the past life that they brought over into this life, that needs to be looked at, and it's kind of shaping the way that they behave in this lifetime, and being able to predict them not even predict, but being able to tap into it so accurately. And when I tell the person, it's just like, I have a dream. I had a dream about that. Or, oh, you know, like, or they just start crying because they know it to be true. They get shivers all over their body or whatever the fuck. And then the other day I had somebody who there was no past life energy that needed to be looked at. She was here to clear her bloodline. So it was like everything she was experiencing in her life was because she's here to clear the bloodline and bring back ancient codes that haven't been activated because Earth wasn't ready for over like 1,000 years. And I don't know, it's just exciting. Like, it's so fucking exciting just to watch myself evolve, because I feel like I'm always evolving. I'm like a snowball going fucking uphill real fast or going downhill real fast. So to tap into these new facets of my gift is really, really exciting, but also to help people rewrite some of those vows that they made in the past life that are still affecting them in this life. Like, that is crazy to me. And also it made me realize this world always been fucked up. This world has always been a fucking shit show. When I look at some of the ways people died in past lives, I'm just like, no, we've always been crazy. We've always been fucking crazy. So it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. And so now, because I got an obsessive personality, and I tell y'all that all the time, you know, obsession really is the energy of determination and perseverance. So it's not a bad thing, but I just feel like I get an itch and I have to scratch that itch until I find, you know, like, until I'm satisfied. And so I got on Reddit and I was looking up all, like, people who have like memories of their past life. And so I was reading like all these stories of people who could remember their past life, or maybe their kids was being like, their kid at 4 years old, like, I used to be a painter, or I used to be I used to be a cowboy or whatever the fuck, and was able to tell them like where they lived at their whole life and all this stuff, and kids being born that are frustrated that they got to go to school because they already did this in the past life and all of this shit. And I've just been down a fucking rabbit hole. Yes, it is awesome. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Janae. I'd like to book a reading. Oh, yeah, you could. It's on my website. Always know. Oh, I know the feeling. Yes, it's so great to feel like I finally found my purpose after so many years of me searching. Like, I feel like I searched high, I searched low. I could not get settled. I was reading all these books. I was doing like going to mediumship school and going outside of myself and all of this looking. Now I'm at a place where I'm not looking. I haven't been looking in a long time because I know who I am and I'm secure in who I am. And, you know, like, it's almost like I don't practice spirituality. I embody it. Like, it's what I do every single day, you know? But the switch from that is like, now what do I do with all that energy that I was using to figure out who I was? And the answer to that is now I'm just trying to explore myself a little bit more. And that's why I'm reading books, because back in high school I used to read books, but it just was the kinky, freaky, freaked out books, you know, that black people was on, the Zanes and the whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, let me just try to see if I could tap back into that, because I really love to read books just in general, right? And so now I'm into romantasy, which is romance fantasy. And the reason why I need some type of fantasy or sci-fi or whatever is because that's really the real world. Like, let's be honest. This shit, the shit they sell us, illusion. But that, I be needing the book to have at least some spiritual implications where I could get to thinking, you know? Or I could at least analyze too. Because what I like about like TV shows and movies is that I'm analyzing the entire time. It's like I almost can't predict what's about to happen, or it's like I'm like, oh my gosh, this character is really complex, or, you know, all of the things. I'm with you on that. Yeah, so it's just like I've gotten into this whole book talk bag. And so there's a whole side of TikTok that is on the same page as me with that. So it also feels like I'm joined a new community because I'm reading all these books or whatever, and it's people making, like, people are making funny memes about it and all this other shit that I just did not know was out there. And so that's interesting. So I've been doing that, like reading books, but I'm doing French. I'm about to learn how to play the guitar, but we'll see, because I got a short attention span. We will see. I've had the guitar for about a year, maybe 2 years, and I got a keyboard too. We'll see. But I want to do something musically, and then I want to start working out again, because I feel like for a second I just was beat. Like, I was tired. I just was tired with everything. And so we'll see. I just saw someone talking about romanticy, just followed 2 pages. Yes, like, I'm really into it. Like, I didn't even know this was a thing for me. You know? I did not know this was a thing for me. And the book that I'm reading today, A Love Story to Ricky Wilde, because I have to switch for a second, because, you know, when you get into a series, like, sometimes in the middle, the books get a little dead, a little dull, and I don't got the time for it today. And so I wanted to read something fresh, something new, and it was by a Black writer, Tia Williams. And I was like, okay, you know, like, the reason why I like Black books is because they talk like us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like using our slang, using our, you know, whatever. I like that because I can see myself in the characters. It's almost like representation, you know? So I'm reading this book today, and it's like a little love story, a little Black love story in Harlem, and it's very, like, I don't know, I like it. And so many people was like making bad reviews about it. And I'm like, should I start doing my own reviews? Because I feel like the way that I be seeing stuff be so different than other people. I don't know. To be multidimensional is crazy. This is a jam. Hold on, y'all. So this a chill live today. Yeah, it's a chill. Like, my lives is always chill. Well, unless I'm doing it on Wednesday, which is usually like me teaching or something. But no, when I get on here and do readings, usually Tuesday and Thursday, you know, if somebody wants a reading, I'll do it. I'm doing free 1-card pulls today too, if y'all just want to know where y'all at. But yeah, most of the time we just chat. Most of the time we just chatting, talking about life. I was talking to Spirit the other day, because I feel like I have been, and I made a post about this. Yeah, because I always have a notebook and pen ready. Oh, okay, yeah, no, you don't need a notebook or pen. We just 2 girls talking right now. We just 2 girls talking, that's it. Hey, Shanique. But I was talking to Spirit because I feel like over this last, and it just literally I feel like it ended today, because the energy that I woke up in today is so different than what it's been. And I think it's because of this lunar eclipse that's happening. And then 2 days from now, we got the 999 portal, which only happens every 9 years or something like that. Yeah, it happens every 9 years. So it's a huge endings. But Venus is in Leo, and so exes are coming back, and like the way that you felt about exes and all the shits is coming back, and it just was too much. Hey, how are you? Can I get a carpool? Yeah, Latoya, I got you. What's up, Chris? Oh, I still gotta unwrap your packages. I still haven't unwrapped them yet. Oh, I would love to show people. Maybe I'll go get them. Okay. So, what was I saying? Damn, my train of thought is gone in the wind. What did you say before that? Well, anyways, let me do this reading first, and maybe I'll go grab his art. Yeah, I'm down to see it. Yes, I want to show y'all this art that I got from Chris, and I want y'all to check out his page, because I feel like I've tried to push him towards posting, and he's been doing a good job of following through. I love when y'all do that, because so many of us just be sitting on fucking talent. Why do we be doing that? So I'm gonna like, it's still under the bubble wrap and everything, so I'm gonna go downstairs and grab it so I can show y'all. But let me give her this card real quick. So the card I got for you, and this is for Latoya. The card I got for you, Latoya, is the King of Stone, but it's in reverse, which means it's in the shadow side. This is the card of rigidity, of fear-based leadership, dominance, disconnection from your intuition, and over control, meaning like you're trying to control everything instead of being in flow. Okay, so in the shadow, the stone sword may become over identified with structure, You may be clinging to old systems, roles, or responsibilities out of fear, afraid that if you let go, it will all fall apart. Leadership can become burdensome. Taja, this word is eating me up. Hold on. Burdensome, and success may feel isolating. You might also be using structure to avoid vulnerability and intuition, leaning too hard on plans, on logic, or control while forgetting the living nature of what you're building. So this card really is about you being too in your mind, or meaning thinking too logical, too rational, and not being heart-led or heart-focused, okay? So this card warns against letting the temple become a fortress, meaning that you don't want to imprison yourself, limit yourself, you know? So ask yourself, is this still aligned, or am I maintaining out of fear? The advice of this card is build for freedom, not just for function. You know, like, don't be too in your head, like, well, I can't do this because it's not rational. It's almost like that Capricorn energy. I can't do this because it's not rational. I can't do this because it's not practical. You know, like, have a little fun. That's what that card is telling you. Hold on, y'all. Let me go downstairs real quick so I can get this art, and so I can show y'all. But I just want to forewarn y'all, when I come back up these stairs, and I got 2 flights of stairs, when I come back up these stairs, I don't want to hear nothing, because I'm going to be out of breath, and it's going to be none of your business. Yes, I got you, conspiracy girl. And you pressed. I'll do y'all as soon as I come back up. I just got to show y'all this art, because I really need to set it up in my office so people can see it when I get on live. Hold on, y'all. Okay. And I actually met up with this person when I was in Indy so that I can get the art. Ooh. Let me turn this dim light off. So I'm excited to show y'all, and then I do conspiracy girl. And you pressed yet. Damn, it's hot in LA. Hold on, y'all. Okay. This is what they look like. They're wrapped. Now, how I'm about to open this? Let me use this key. I want to show y'all though. Throw me a cue, I got you. It's 50 here in Alaska. Alaska! Girl, what do y'all be doing in Alaska? I mean that I'm very ignorant on the subject, so be easy on me. It's cooling down at night in LA though. Oh my gosh, hold on y'all. This is the one that I seen. Ooh. And he made me 2. That's so sweet. Like, I feel like he did not have to make 2 of these. But I think his art is so unique. And it reminds me of your grandma's house when I show you. Black people, I feel like y'all gonna understand. Because I feel like art back in the day used to kind of look like this. Oh, you wrapped this motherfucker good. And I gotta tell y'all something too, look. Oh my gosh. And this is a symbol that he made, or a sigil that he made, that represents the divine feminine. So there's a 1 down the middle, and then it's like 2 going that way. Do y'all see this? And look, there's crystals, because he asked me what I like, and y'all know I'm an earthy girl. Hit me with anything earthy. So there's crystals at the top. Like, and then he uses laser to do this part. Is this not the most beautiful thing? And what's crazy is, I was on his page the other day, because I be stalking y'all sometimes. But I had seen he had posted something, and I went on his page the other day, and he posted like this red and blue. I don't know if it was a painting or what it was, but it was absolutely fucking gorgeous. And I was just like, what the fuck? You really been working a 9 to 5? What do you mean you're working a 9 to 5? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so this is the first one. Don't play with me. It's gonna be back there with them fish bowls. Hold on. This is the second one. And why doesn't he want to post it again? He just started posting it. We had to have a conversation. He booked the reading. I'm like, let me see your art. Cause you know, I gotta check it out first. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't about to just push everybody into, you know? So I'm like, we had a couple different conversations. I think this is the first person I met from social media in person. Cause he from my city, like the city I come from. And I seen him at Kroger or some shit. It was crazy. But I said, well, let me see the art, because again, you know, I'm only gonna push when I feel like it needs to be pushed. You know, some people still in that getting it together stage, you know. But he showed me, and let me see if I still got the one that he showed me. The one he showed me, I was just like, okay, is it crack? Like, what's going on? Why would you not be doing this? And it's so different. Like, when I thought he said he did art, I thought he was like a painter or something. And so he showed it to me and I'm like, nah, you need to get this together, because that's kind of crazy that you sitting on this. I don't even think I still got the picture, because I don't think he sent it. He showed it to me on, oh, he's still on here. That's him right there, y'all. Mac Wolf 317. Go check out his page, because, and look for that blue, red, that blue and that red, whatever that was. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I like how it's unconventional. It don't stay on the page. Anyways, here's the second one, y'all. This one I've never seen, besides him showing me a picture. Oh my gosh. Look at the detail. What does this, Chris, tell us what this means. You cannot tell me these are not fucking beautiful. I'm never gonna get another piece like this unless I order it from him. Oh, he was, girl. So once I told him, like, you need to do this. You need to post, like, when you post, let me know. I think I reposted it and put it in my story. He said he been in flow state ever since, and I'm like, see, don't let them folks try to trick you into believing that you got to work for somebody else when you are talented. 9 to 5s is for untalented people. You know what I'm saying? People who want to build somebody else's dream. Look at that. The detail. You know, like, this is simple, but then he made it complex. You know, like, that's artistry. That's artistry. And I love to see it. Who is this Caucasian? Hold on, y'all. Let me change the music. It done rolled into something else. I was listening to jazz. Why you ain't stick with the jazz flow? Gorgeous. That's an Andrinka symbol for royalty. Period. Period. I'm never going to get another piece like this. Like, I feel like these are timeless. And all I did was say, he said he wanted to make me a piece. I said, okay, just make me a piece. This fool done made me two. One of a kind. And they kind of go together. Low key, this the divine masculine, this the divine feminine. In my head. Anyways, oh shit. And I love this too. Like, this is what I feel like, make it look like that old timey. You know that art where the lady was on the bed and she looked tired, and I think she got rollers in her hair, and she kind of just like getting out the bed, and it's just like, I didn't understand that when I was a kid. Now as an adult, the bones be hurting. I understand you got to roll up out. That's what this puts me in the mind frame of. I don't deserve y'all. I don't deserve y'all. But this was really sweet. This was really sweet. It was just really sweet. And I love when y'all do stuff like this. Like, are you kidding me? That's actually called Omalay, aka the inner child mask. Okay. Please school me. You're going to have to send it to me in the chat, because I want to be able to tell people. Like, Tanja, what's that? I want to be able to tell them. Omalay means strong child in Yoruba. Yes. And made with intention too. I love intentionality. So anyways, that's what I got to say about that one. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna hang them up back there because I feel like that because I'm never gonna put plants in those. It's very obvious. I've been here over a year. It hasn't happened. But I think I'm gonna put them in the middle right there so people could ask me because I feel like it's a statement piece. But anyways, yeah, let me just go ahead and follow. Period. Period. That's the way to look at it though, for real. Literally priceless. Appreciate the shout out, for real. This made my years. Period. Anytime, y'all. I'm always for supporting other people. It do be taking me a second to get around to it because I gotta be in the energy, you know, because when I post something for somebody else, I want it to be high energy. I want it to be like, you know, because I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. But it be taking me a second. Y'all customize shoes in the flow state something different. Period, Dree. You gonna have to show me some shoes. I like shoes. But yes, it's beautiful. And so when y'all do that, like I had got a client one time and I was doing a reading and her husband had passed away. And so I'm, you know, talking to her, you know, we were having a conversation about the husband. And he was like, she had wrote something. And I thought it was like the speech at his funeral. But no, she wrote a children's book for children who lose their father. And it's on Amazon. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all what it is. Because I've been supposed to make this video for like 2-3 months. I am going to make the video. I promised her. I'm going to make the video. But she sent me like a little small copy of it so that I could post about it. But it's like The Day Daddy Became a Star is what the book was called. So I'm over here in the session. I'm about to cry because I'm just like, girl, what? Because she got younger kids. And so she had to explain to them, you know, that their daddy passed away. And so she made a book about it to help them. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. It pays homage to our inner child and to our ancestral gifts that are tied to our inner child. Period. All right, let me see who did I have. Let me make sure that y'all. Matter of fact, if you want a 1-card pull, I'm doing free 1-card pulls. If you want a full reading, 22, and I'll give y'all my Cash App and Zelle. But who said they wanted a reading? Because y'all gonna have to put it back in here because I don't know who in here and who ain't in here no more. I know Jayla said something. Okay, so user ending in 405. Okay, user ending in 405. Ooh, that came right back out. I mean, that came out quick. So what I got was the embodied gate for you. This is what she looks like. Period. This is would be similar to like a major arcana card. But I love it because it has symbols and stuff like that to help you remember. And this is about embodiment. It's about energy transmission. It's about you being a living portal. No, this is for user 405 Asia. This is for Asia. Presence. This is about somatic truth, integration, soul body union, restoration, sacred neutrality, walking in your truth, and flame anchoring. Okay. So when the embodied gate appears, it signals that you are no longer just a seeker, a student, or a channel. You have become the flame. Okay. Not in theory, but in felt, radiant, lived expression. The embodied gate signifies the moment your soul fully touches down. Okay, and you got to understand, you know, when you embody your soul is embodied in the 3D to 5D. Okay, your oversoul is embodied in the 6D to, I think, 9D, and then that's your oversoul. Your avatar, because you have avatar consciousness. This is where you remember everything, all your past lifetime, like everything. We have avatar consciousness. I don't think I've ever talked about this on here before. But that's embodied the 10D to the 12D, and then your monad, which is like I don't even know how to explain the monad. I've explained it before, but it's like the energy that I don't know how to explain it. Anyways. But your monad frequency is from 14 to 15D. Okay. So this could be soul embodiment. All right. So you're no longer escaping into the clouds of vision and analysis. You've lived your truth through your body, your presence, your voice. This card signals a major integration point on the path. What was fragmented begins to unify. What felt separate begins to harmonize. So this is like you becoming more yourself, okay? You are the portal now. You are the message now. Your body has become a transmission point, a gate through which flame codes, timelines, activations, and remembrance pass. The way you move, speak, rest, and hold space, all of it becomes a mirror and a catalyst. You're no longer trying to awaken. You are a living signal. There's a reason others feel stirred in your presence. There's a reason you're drawn to certain places, people, and grids. Your field is a bridge between the unseen and the seen. This card invites you to trust your felt sense, meaning trust what you feel in your body, okay? This tricks you. Trust what you're feeling. Your knowing lives in the skin, in the womb, in the spine. It does not need to be translated. It already is. It invites you to stop seeking permission and begin walking as the flame that you are, meaning walking in your truth. It reminds you that embodiment isn't about perfection. It's about presence, like fully being present in your body. And presence comes from you being able to properly identify what's happening in your emotional world and moving accordingly. Okay, if it feels good, that's a yes. That's getting you closer to yourself. If it doesn't feel good, that's a no. Choose another option that's getting you further away. It's living the frequency of your knowing in the mundane and the mystic alike. You become the gate other people pass through. So the lesson here is you don't need to do the work. You are the work embodied. Meaning like you need to embody the example you want to see in this world. And then the last part is your body is the gate for spiritual embodiment. Enter it fully. Okay. Give yourself permission to shine. Give yourself permission to take up space. Okay. Trust yourself in all that you do, because when you do trust yourself, you impact and affect the people around you. Okay. So don't try to force them to be anything. Be you, and you are the example. You are the living portal that they need to walk through. Okay. That was for Asia. All right. Next is Janae. You are welcome, my love. Ooh. Let me put that back because. All right, this is for Janae. Ooh, my nose is itchy. Ooh. You love me, you would never hurt me. All right, we got the Nine of Flame. Look how beautiful this is, y'all. I can't get over these cards. I'll never get over them. Like, I am so proud of this work. Oh my gosh. But this is in reverse. This is for Janae. Okay? If you wanted to, you would. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. Anyways. This is about giving up. This is about hyper independence, burnout, isolation, this fear of failing near the end, and also martyrdom as well. Meaning like you're prioritizing other people's needs in front of your own. In the shadow, this card reflects a dangerous silence. You may feel tempted to quit just before the flame would have birthed something new. You might isolate, thinking you must carry the entire fire alone, meaning like think you got to do this shit by yourself. The threshold test can reveal the inner martyr, the one who carries everything, asks for nothing, and collapses under the weight of sacred responsibility. But the flame is not meant to break you. It is here to transform you. It's trying to show you how to choose yourself. You know, the advice here is do not extinguish what only needs rest to rise again, which means that in order for you to get rest in this life, you got to learn how to prioritize yourself. You know, the divine feminine didn't come here to be a martyr. She didn't come here to be suppressed. She came here to live fully embodied, which means feminine energy is rest. Masculine energy is work. We live in a masculine society that pushes you to do. But feminine energy is rest. Allow your body to rest. You know, when you wake up in the morning, if you feel like you're tired, your mind is what tells you you need to be productive. So getting your body is what this card is telling you. Getting your body, because your body is going to tell you how to move. Your body communicates to you through your emotions. How do you feel? Okay? That's for Janae. I used to be a martyr, baby. And I'll tell you what, worst decision of my life. I was so depressed. I was so miserable. I dealt with so much anxiety. It was so much pressure. And I felt like I had to be the one in my family to create generational wealth. And I had to be the one to fix everybody. You're not here to fix nobody. You're here to witness. Okay? You're here to witness. But these is grown people, you know? All right, this is for Jayla. Jada Prototype, period. This is for Jayla. If y'all want a free 1 card pull, just drop that you do in the chat, or 555 in the chat, since 555 is on my clock. Ooh, we got the split voice in reverse. This is very on brand, friend. Okay, we got the split voice in reverse. This is about confusion. It's about mimicry, projection, indecisiveness, fear of making the wrong choice, and paralysis. Okay, in the shadow, the split voice becomes a maze. You may be looping in confusion, caught between paths, afraid to choose for fear of choosing wrong. Often one of these voices is not yours at all. It's a projection, a mimic code, a voice absorbed from a mentor, a parent, culture, or collective programming. You may be trying to make a soul choice with a borrowed mind. I hate that. This card reminds you, you don't need more options. You need more silence. Okay, so this is a card about stillness. The only way for you to truly hear what voice is yours is to sit with yourself in stillness. And that's when you start to be able to distinguish between the two voices. Okay, so the advice of this card is you are not confused. You're just surrounded by too many voices that are not your own. You know? And I concur. I agree with that message. Anyway, I knew it was going to be something in reverse. It's okay. We a work in progress. All right, you pressed. This is for you. Ooh. I was thinking about that today on my hammock. I don't know how to decipher them. You got to sit in stillness, baby. You got to sit in stillness. Because that's the only place I've ever gotten clarity. You know, when I was, I told y'all that I went to go see my family or whatever. And I was on a plane, and then I had to get in the car, and I drove like 8 hours after that, all of that. There came a point in the trip where, because I sit in stillness so much, that I could not hear another second of the music. I literally tried to put on my headphones. It wouldn't work. I tried to, like, you know, mash my head. It wouldn't hurt. I literally had to tell them, turn the radio off, please. Please, I feel like I'm about to die. And they turned the radio off, and I was like, oh my God, finally I can hear myself think again. My gift works in silence. If I had never learned how to master stillness, I would not be able to be the medium that I am today. I wouldn't be able to tap into the past lives. I wouldn't be able to talk to my oversoul, because my gift comes through neutrality, which means that you have to anchor in stillness in order for you to really be clear about how you feel about anything. But we live in a society that's constantly pushing us to go, 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 because it wants us moving fast so that we don't have time to think. So that we have time to hear, right? So if you're a gifted person, my best advice to you is every single day, don't call it meditation. Every single day, at the bare minimum, sit in silence for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Don't turn no TV on. Don't have no phone on. Just sit there. A lot of us struggle because we cannot sit with ourselves, because we're so distracted by everything that's around us. But when you sit with yourself, you are anchoring in the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the intuition. The divine feminine is the intuition, right? You can't hear her if you're in that masculine energy, which is go, 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 move, 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 move. You know? I hope that helps you. Me too. I wait until it's dark, and I light a candle, because a candle is a living portal. If you light a candle, you open up the spiritual side of things, okay? And I set my intentions. You know, don't let just anything come through. You know, be specific. Light the candle, and I sit there, and I let whatever I'm ready to hold, I'm ready. I'm ready to receive it. And I sit there and I let it come up. I literally, before I got on here, it was probably like 1 o'clock. I was reading a book, but I got tired, and so I went downstairs to meditate, which I don't even meditate like that no more, not in this embodied state, but I wanted to hear. Because I felt like I've been doing all this reading and stuff, and sometimes that shit can be a distraction too. And so I went to sit down, and then all these messages started flooding me, and I'm like, oh damn, bitch, I'm backed up on that. Let me just write this down real quick. You know, so you need silence. You need it, and you need it bad. Hey, Belle. Period, Tammy. You welcome, Q. But that's the best thing I ever did for myself, is learning how to master silence and stillness. Because the reason why when you go to meditate, it's 1,000 thoughts going in your head is because you constantly going. And all the stuff that you haven't been dealing with is now coming to the top, because it's like, okay, but what about this? You know, and because you always running around and you never deal with what's happening, your mind is like, oh, okay, it's time for me to talk now. You know, it's time for me to talk now. All right, you press. This is for you. Okay, that came out twice, so I'm just going to have to give you that. Where did it go? Love to love you. So for you, I get the Legacy Temple. This is the ancestral card. This is about ancestry. Okay. All right. So this is for you, Press. This is about completion, generational wealth, ancestral healing, soul legacy, lasting impact, foundation, rooted belonging, and spiritual inheritance. Okay. So the Ten of Stone is the final arrival. This card represents the culmination of embodied effort, not just what you've built in this life, but what you're restoring across timelines. This is the card of legacy, a structure that lives beyond the moment. It speaks to sacred foundations, your home, your family, your lineage, works that last. When this card appears, you're being reminded that your presence is a part of a greater temple, one built by your ancestors and expanded by your hands. There is stability available now, and with it, a chance to rest in what's been made sacred. It is also an invitation to pass on wisdom, to plant the next seed for others. Okay. The Legacy Temple does not require grandeur. It only asks, what are you leaving behind that is rooted in soul truth? So the lesson here is that your life is a doorway for ancestral healing and future blessings. Now, what I got to say about this card is, if you are here for ancestral work, you have to clear your womb. You have to clear your womb if you are here for ancestral work. Okay. The reason why you got to clear your womb is because your womb is a memory vault. Okay. But when you, meaning like the only way to get access to your ancestral code, your ancestral memory, is through your womb. Okay. Because you came through the womb. You need to clear your womb. I have a spiritual protection class that you can purchase on my website if you need help with this. And I talk about the womb clearing and that, and energy work just in general. But you need to clear your womb. The reason why you got to clear your womb is because if you don't, that's where all your ancestral trauma, your childhood, inner childhood wounds, everything lives in your womb. Okay. So yeah. But also inner child work and stuff like that is really important, because, you know, inner child wounds are just your generational curses, because a lot of people are just repeating what was done to them. So it's not that you have to reinvent the wheel. Whatever trauma you're left with from childhood is your ancestral work that you need to do. It's not, it was never punishment. It's initiation. You don't know what it is. I mean, you don't really fully know what it is you need to do until you actually experience it yourself. You know, so inner child work and shadow work and generational curse breaking comes down to the trauma that your family left you with. That's literally the gateway. Okay. Oh no, I'm doing them for free, Amina. I can do you. I think somebody else said something first. Tammy, did you want to pull? Because I think yours is the name that I was going back up for. Tammy, did you want to pull? If not, I'm gonna do Amina. Oh, I seen you liking it. Okay. Let's do a pull for you. I'm doing these for free today. If you want a 1-card pull, if you want a full reading, it's 22. This is from my Oversoul Codex that I created to look like us, because why we ain't got no representation. But it's not like traditional tarot. It actually is very soul encoded. Oh my gosh, so you know how I just said that I was doing a reading earlier, and I sat down with myself and messages started coming through. This is what came through, the sacred collapse. This is where I am right now. Now yours is coming through in shadow, so we're gonna talk about this. But you just reminded me of what I was writing down. Okay, I got you 2 locks, Queen. I sent money for reading in your Cash App. Okay, hold on. Sorry, y'all. Let me just do y'all listen to Pimmy? I didn't think I was gonna like her. But this song Changes. Oh, I didn't see it come in, love. I sent money for a reading to your Cash App. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Yeah, I just looked. I didn't see that, love. My Cash App is BIGTAJJJ. It should be 3 J's. Make sure you got a receipt for it, Janae. And I'm keeping my email up so I can see. All right, Tammy, let's talk about you real quick, and then I'm gonna get Amina, and then I'm gonna get Lock Queens. Okay. So the card that you got is the Sacred Collapse. Again, beautiful, beautiful card. Look at that. Tearing down a temple, right? But you got it in the shadow. Okay, this is also, it would be again equivalent to like a major arcana card, meaning like this is a major event in your life. Okay. With this being in the shadow side, this is about resistance to change. It's about fear of surrender, avoidance. This is about over-identification or clinging to false identities, a fear of failure, spiritual bypassing, or collapse shame. So in the shadow, the sacred collapse is met with resistance. The bearer may feel letting go of a role, a relationship, a belief system, or a structure that once brought them meaning, but now it's imprisoning their soul. You may attempt to spiritually bypass your grief or rush the process of loss, mistaking collapse as failure. This is the ache of trying to resurrect something that is meant to die. You may try to fix or hold what's crumbling, not realizing the collapse is sacred. There can be guilt, a fear of being nothing, or shame about not being able to maintain the illusion of stability. But collapse is not failure. It is the invitation to be reformed in truth. There is medicine in the mess. Okay, you are allowed to fall apart. So the shadow says, I should be over this already. But the soul responds, you are still becoming. Okay, so let go, let the fire do what it must. And the advice here is stop trying to resurrect what your soul has already buried. Make room for your rebirth. And don't cling to the old version of you out of fear of change. Okay, that was for Tammy. I lost my home. Okay. Got you. This is a sacred restructuring, my love. It's you know, endings are also beginnings. You are so very welcome. All right, Amina, are you still with me? Can you drop a 555 in the chat for me, or yes in the chat for me? Okay, Amina. Oh, shit. Hey, Celine. So I'm doing free 1-card pulls, but if you want a full reading, it's 22. All right. This is for my girl, Amina. What does Amina need to hear today? Okay. That came on out quick. Okay, so we got a 7 of Stone card. The Stone cards are about integrating. It's about earth energy, but this came out in shadow, okay? Which means that there's some energy that needs to be healed within this. This is a card of impatience. This is a card of self-doubt. This is a card about abandoning the process, mistrust, or pulling out your roots too soon, okay? So in the shadow, the waiting flame becomes unbearable. You may feel tempted to abandon your path out of frustration or fear that nothing is happening. Perhaps you pulled your roots up too early in the past, searching for faster results or clearer signs. The truth is, your doubt may be louder than your devotion right now. This card warns against interrupting divine cycles. Impatience can lead to sabotage. When your ego demands proof, it often digs up what the soul is still tending. You may feel discouraged, unseen, or restless, but this is not the time to quit. This is the time to deepen, okay? The question becomes, can you love something enough to let it take its time? All right, the advice here, do not harvest a gift before it becomes itself, okay? Which means you got to be a little bit more patient with yourself. You got to allow yourself to make mistakes. You got to allow yourself to figure it out, and you got to allow yourself to be forged and formed. Okay. Anything in spirit moves slow. And what I mean by that is like, it has its own, you have to reach the resonance of it first, which means that you can't do more to get it to come into fruition. You have to anchor into yourself, become more you, create more space within you, and then it comes. Okay. If I can get on the list for a card pull, I just seen your post on Patreon. Okay, period. I definitely will. So that was Amina. And then this is Locks Queen. Thank you, Bougie and Abroad. So this is Lock Queen. This is for you. All right, I do gotta. What you craving for? This is my phone. This is the girl from Bel Air, the little cute girl. All right, Locks Queen. This is for you. Are you still in the chat with me, love? Oh, thank you, Taj. That was amazing. I need to hear that. Period. I love that for you. You got one of my favorite cards. Ooh, Locks Queen. This is water energy. This is the Knight of Water. She's the water holder. This card is really me, but today it's you. This is the card of romance, of emotional expression, heart pursuit, soulful connection, intuition and motion, poetic sensitivity, and inspired action. So the Knight of Waters is the lover, the dreamer, the seeker of soul connection. This knight does not charge with logic. They move with emotion, intuition, and desire. You may be entering a phase of deep emotional openness, romantic pursuit, or creative inspiration guided by your heart, which means it's really important for you to anchor into how things make you feel right now. This card signals movement towards something that stirs your soul, whether it's a person, a dream, or a cause. You feel it pulling you, and so you follow, not because it's rational, but because it feels true. The knight is crazy. The knight asks you to trust the tide, to ride the current of emotion, express love freely, and say what you feel. There is great beauty in your tenderness. Okay, meaning just be honest. You know, I think in this society, so many of us are afraid of vulnerability. So many of us are afraid to say what's on our mind because we think it's gonna make us look cringe or cheap or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't understand that. You know, just be honest and speak from your heart. Just remember to carry discernment as you move, because love and empathy is best used with discernment. If you burn your hand on that fucking stove, next time put on the mitten. Okay? The lesson here is let your heart lead you. Let your heart lead you, but bring your whole self with you. If it does not feel good to you, speak up. Okay? Because sometimes the lover can be delusional sometimes too. All right? We turn ourselves into martyrs, into the sacrifice, because we trying to love fully, but we can't love somebody fully who is not capable of receiving us just even in a little bit. Okay? So use discernment is what this card is telling you. It's okay to be a lover. Use discernment. If that person can't receive you, go to somebody who can. Okay? Hi, Indy. Sure. Give me a second. I got a list going here, a list growing here, but I got you, love. Come give me here. Come here. All right. Where am I at? Okay. So that was Locks Queen. This is Thunder Queen Neek. Are you still with me, baby? You are welcome, my love. Are you still with me, Thunder Queen? Let me drink some water. Period. Hey, girly. Let's see what the cards got to say about you today, my love. What do we got for Thunder Queen? Ooh. Ooh. All right. Let me got another stone energy, but this is the Sacred Alliance, okay? In shadow, okay? So you gotta watch who's around you, okay? So this sacred shadow is over-reliance on other people, unequal energy exchange, a lack of boundaries, group confusion, creative tension, or codependent projects, okay? So in the shadow, the collaboration becomes clouded. Hold on. So in the shadow, the collaboration becomes clouded. Perhaps you're depending too much on others, unsure how to stand in your own voice, or maybe you're doing all the work while other people's coast on your energy. Misaligned partnerships, clashing values, or lack of shared vision can distort what was meant to be sacred. This card also warns against hiding behind collaborations as a way to avoid full responsibility for your own flame. Your contribution is essential, but it must come from sovereignty, not survival, okay? So shadow collaboration asks, am I collaborating from trust or from lack? Do I feel seen, validated, and heard in this creation? True co-creation honors the flame in everything, okay? So the advice here is that not all who gather are meant to build with you. So you might be in this stage where you got people around you and maybe you're surpassing them, you know? Or maybe you have outgrown them in some way. And you're dimming yourself or bringing yourself back down to stay in those environments just because they feel comfortable. Okay, it could be a situation like that, or it could be a situation where you are overextending yourself and you're not getting back what you're giving out. I'm doing free 1-card pulls, Texas Hippie. So if you want to get on the list, just drop a 555 in the chat. I'm doing full readings for 22. I ain't mean to call you out, baby. This is all love. This is a safe space. We don't judge over here. We only here to love you over here. That's it. That's it. But truth is how you express love. Okay? So it's okay to stand alone, my love. It's okay to stand alone. That's something I had to learn. I walked away from a 20-year friendship and I loved her. Oh, I had a dream. Oh, that reminds me. Maybe you were meant to come into my awareness so that I could remember that. But I had a friend of 20 years. I loved her down. But she did not like me. There's no way that she could be doing what she was doing and actually like me. You know, and I realized that anytime we had ever gotten to a disagreement, the only reason why we stayed friends is because I reached out. It's because I loved her and I was willing to sacrifice being right. You know, love is stronger than pride. Just so we can stay in community because we trauma bonded when we was kids and she was my longest friend. But that history don't mean shit. Okay? That history will get you fucked up. It is you are supposed to grow and evolve and change. And if people don't grow and evolve with you, them is no longer your people. Some people come in our lives just for a season because we needed them at that moment. But some of them have outstayed our welcome, and because we got abandonment issues, we hold on too tight. You know, be okay with what comes in coming and what goes out. Because if you holding on to things that ain't supposed to be there, what's coming for you can't come in because something else is standing in the place. Move that out the way so that you can be met fully. Okay? If you got to be smaller, you are not being met fully. And you deserve that. There are people out there who have the capacity to hold you at your fullness and they will not flinch. You deserve to be in that room. But in order for you to get in that room, you got to walk away from the room that you barely can fit in. It's like that Alice in Wonderland, how she went into that house and then she took that thing and she became real big and she started busting out you busting out the house, sister. You know, you busting out the house. That was for me too. I had to shrink to keep her as a friend. Yep, let it go, baby. I let go of that. That was probably like 2 years ago, maybe. And every psychic reading I had, she was coming in the psychic realm. I'm like, listen, I don't want to talk to sis. I'm sorry. I love her, but from a distance, you know, because some people, with smoke. Some people know what accountability is, but fear, actually holding themselves accountable because they fear vulnerability. they don't want to be wrong. They think that they have to be perfect. And, you know, a lot of times when you think that you got to be perfect, you think that somebody correcting you or you doing something to harm people means that you're a bad person or you're doing something wrong, when in all reality, we're not perfect people. We were never fucking perfect. You know, we're gonna miss that. We're gonna fuck up. You know, why is it so hard for so many people to own up to that shit? I would never understand. You know, and I say this as a person who, you know, when I first started having to hold myself accountable, I literally felt like somebody shot me in my chest with a shotgun. It's like, I know in my head, logically, I know I am supposed to do this thing, you know, but it hurt really bad. It hurt really bad. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I strove for perfection. You know, I didn't want to be seen as being wrong or hurting somebody, because I hate the fact that certain people can say that I was the villain in their story, you know? Because hurt people hurt people. Luckily, our minds are men, and I'm okay with that. Because somebody needs to hurt their ass. No, I'm just playing. But it's okay to let go, is what I'm saying. Okay? So I think I have Celine, and then I have Indy, and then I have Texas Hippie. Okay. So ooh. All right, this is for you, Celine. Are you still with me, Celine, girl? Still here. Okay, awesome. Let's see what the cards got to say about you, Celine. What is... Okay, eyelash. Oh, hey, Dirty Dan. Welcome. I love that for us. All right. This is for Celine. What does Celine need to know? Ooh, ooh, you got a soul contract surfacing, my love. And this again will be a major event, major card. Look how gorgeous. This, out of the deck, this is top 5 for me. This is top 5. Okay? So the soul contract is a sacred agreement. It's a destiny path, a karmic remembrance, a soul vow, purpose anchoring, oversoul timeline, soul bond, karmic assignment, spiritual commitment that is coming to the top. Okay? So the soul contract speaks of divine agreements written before incarnation, those between souls, lineages, or even timelines. When this card appears, you're being called to remember something unfolding now was chosen. So whatever's happening in your environment. Let me see, Janae. I did. Is it Jana or is it Janae? I'll do you next, my love. Since you went ahead and paid for a full reading. The soul contract card arrives when you are being asked to remember the why beneath your incarnation, okay? Before this lifetime, your oversoul inscribed certain agreements into your auric field, some related to healing, others to service, and many to divine timing. When this card appears, those contracts are now activating or surfacing, so pay attention to what's happening in your life right now. There is a contract at play that holds evolutionary weight, meaning that when you can alchemize this energy, on the other side of that, you will be forever changed. You will be able to evolve through this. You may be called to complete something begun long ago, perhaps in a past life or in the astral realm before your birth. This may also be the moment you name what you came here to do, not in a performative way, but as a sacred vow rising in your bones. Oh, Yana, gotcha. It may involve a soul relationship, a sacred duty, or a life theme repeating in unmistakable ways. So we'll look at the patterns that are repeating in your life. This card asks you to pause and inquire, what did my soul agree to carry, witness, or heal in this lifetime? What am I bound to complete, not as punishment, but as sacred fulfillment? This card can also indicate a contract with another soul, someone you're meant to walk with, mentor, be mentored by, or untangle karmic alongside. There may be moments of deja vu, sudden clarity, or deep inner knowing that you've been here before. The soul contract is rarely loud, but it's never unsure. Okay, this card is a card of remembrance. When aligned, it brings clarity, resolve, and a deepening sense of spiritual purpose. You may not always like the contract, but you will feel the truth of it in your bones. So the lesson here is you chose this not as punishment, but as purpose. You agreed to this path. Review your soul vows with reverence. Okay, so pay attention to the patterns that are happening in your life, because There's a soul contract that's surfacing from a previous lifetime. This is why I do flame lineage readings, y'all. The flame lineage readings are to determine what primary language your soul speaks in, but the secondary and overlay flames or flame lineages are karmic imprints from previous lifetimes, you know. And if you get a tier 2 or a tier 3, I look into whatever sacred contract or whatever soul vow that you made or whatever reason or mission that you're here for, that you need to kind of get over in order for you to step fully into your embodiment. You know, so that's why I've been doing the past lives. I'm not doing the past life just to, you know, tell you what your past life is. No, I'm tapping into whatever past life is still causing you issues right now in this life. That's the one that I have to tap into, because a lot of y'all are a lot of the behavior that you have don't belong to this version of you, and so you have no idea because we are in a reincarnation loop, because something happened back in Lyra, but we in a reincarnation loop, and a lot of us are carrying the karma from our past selves. And karma ain't really a bad thing. Sometimes it's just like something you told yourself in a previous lifetime. Like for my last client, I will never love this deeply again, right? All of her energy in this life is protective energy. It's mirror energy, because she don't want to be met. Instead, she wants to reflect other people, because when she was trying to be met, her family betrayed her. She got exiled and shamed, and she ended up hanging herself. So she told herself love was not safe. Although the energy that's buried in her energy is a rose gold energy, it is the energy of the purest love, purest compassion. It's here to bring back the divine feminine, but she got all this masculine energy protecting her because she feels like that's unsafe because of some shit that happened 2 lifetimes ago. You know? That makes sense. I had a dream of seeing a train crash and the person said it had happened. That's probably that's a lot of times your dreams are you tapping into a previous timeline. That's probably a soul truth, my love. Okay. All right. So Yana, let's do you. We're gonna do a full reading on Yana. Okay. These are the $22 readings. Okay. What I like to do is 5 to 7 cards, and then I pull a couple cards from my other oversoul deck. This one, the other deck, is not for purchase. It's just something I use for confirmation in my readings. Okay. This is my jam though. So while I pull your cards, I will. Ooh, okay, girl. We got some shit coming out already. The list isn't very long. Hey Terry. Right now I have Yana, who I'm doing. After Yana, I have Indy, I have Texas Hippie. So it's 2 people who are in line after this reading. I've been good. How are you? Ooh, you got one of my favorite cards, girl. This, again, top 5. Okay. So if you want a 1 card pull, it's free. You just got to get on the list. The list is only 2 people right now. After this. If you want a full reading, which is, I'm about to give you an example of a full reading right now, that's $22. And it can be sent to my Cash App, which is in the top, the BIGTAJJJ, 3 J's, or Zelle, which is TAJAMOORE 16 at Gmail. That's Taja Moore 16 at Gmail. Oh, baby, you got a lot of water energy coming up, Yana. What else we got for Yana? Where is she at right now? Ooh, you're a multidimensional mirror, babe. I've been getting a lot of multidimensional mirrors lately. And one thing that I gotta say about people who have multidimensionality is that you didn't come here to be one thing. It's okay for you to be multiple things. And not only that, when you look at other people, you don't just see this version of them. You see their potential across dimensions. Okay, and what happens is we try to fix people, we try to heal people, we try to push people towards that potential. They don't even have the capacity to perceive at the level that you're perceiving, you know. And so it's so important for you to learn how to witness when you're a multidimensional mirror, because you're operating across multiple timelines. Ooh, baby, you got some energy. Okay, hold on. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Too much at once. Let me do one more card, my love, and then let me grab the other deck. They said, fucking one card, bitch, you getting two. Okay. Oh, yeah, baby. You got to pay attention to your dreams. There's a lot happening with you right now, Yana. Can you tell me in the chat, where do you come from, love? Where's your family from? Are y'all near the water? Okay, Key. I got you, Keys. I'll do you next. The only way to skip the line is to get a full reading. California. Okay, my love. You on the creative note. I'm well. Been more clear than ever. I love that for you, my love. What do we got for Yana? What's some gifts? What's some lineages? Now, in this full reading, lineages sometimes come out. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. You're here to restore the divine masculine and divine feminine energies. Born in Panama. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Yep, then the mirror flame came out, crystalline flame. Okay, so your mirror flame is a crystalline flame. That's actually really rare. But what's happening right now, and what I've been finding in my flame lineage readings that I do, are that a lot of crystalline flames are coming back to the top right now. And so I've had 2 clients who have come through, one with a crystalline overlay, one with a full crystalline flame via her main flame, which again, very rare. Out of the 13 lineages, this one doesn't come up too often. And I'm also getting seraphim flames, which have been underground for at least 1,000 years. And so right now with what's happening in Earth, especially right now, y'all don't understand how magical it is for you to be here at this time. You know, a lot of these lineages that have been buried for centuries, one of them 12,000 years. That's the Black Lumerian lineages are coming back online. Okay. So I've been getting a lot of people who are attracted to me who have these crystalline lineages, which is a mirror flame. It also is a protective flame sometimes. So sometimes it's protecting an underlying rose gold energy, or it's protecting that feminine energy. So it's important for you to tap into the feminine side of your energy, because you could be protecting it. Okay, so let's start from the top for you, but let me turn this music down because my mind is doing 1,000 right now. All right, so the first card that I get for you, my love, is the Queen of Waters. Okay, this is the water mirror, which means that you do have mirroring energy, but a lot of it comes through the water, which is again feminine energy. Okay, but also means like dreams. It means intuition. You know, intuitive mastery is so important. Okay, so this card is about emotional depth. It's about intuitive mastery, compassion, inner wisdom, sacred boundaries, radiant empathy, soul reflection, and energetic sovereignty, which means it's so important for you to be yourself and only yourself, girly. Your feminine does not have to be soft. Okay, the Queen of Waters is the embodiment of emotional wisdom, one who has walked through every wave, felt it all, and still chose to remain open. She reflects without absorbing. She loves without losing herself. When this card appears, you're being called into emotional sovereignty. Okay, you're not being asked to shut down. You're being asked to hold your water with grace, meaning that everything that you've been through in your lifetime was initiation. You know, in order for you to do what it is that you came here to do, you had to have the experiences that allow you to connect with other people. And we don't realize that we connect to other people through emotional experiences. People who have water energy, if you think about water, water is deep. Okay, which means you've probably seen some really dark times, or some really tumultuous times where every time you try to stick your head up, there's waves coming on, crashing on top of you. But that is preparation. Okay, so this queen is a healer, a mystic, an empath who knows that her sensitivity is not weakness, but a gift. Okay, her emotional body is a mirror. Others see themselves in her presence. She teaches not by force, but by embodied example. This card is a reminder to return to your own inner waters. Okay, meaning you got to figure out, you got to open up that emotional energy. Okay, that emotional energy, and let them nourish you before you offer your cup to anyone else. Which means right now is a really, really important time for you to learn how to prioritize yourself and only yourself. And I hate to say it that way, but true nurture and support for other people is built on a foundation of self-care. You cannot properly take care of somebody if you're pouring from an empty cup. Okay, or if you even pouring from a half empty cup. So it's so important for you to have compassion for yourself right now. It's important for you to learn how to do what you need instead of what everybody else needs of you. Okay? The way that I tell people is that if you got to force yourself, then you shouldn't be doing it, because nothing in love comes from force. If you're forcing yourself to do it, then you feel like it's an obligation. It doesn't come natural to you. It's not sovereign. You feel tied. You feel responsible. Okay? So the lesson of this card is your compassion is powerful, but only when it includes you. Meaning you got to be compassionate towards yourself first before you can ever do anything else. Now, when you can embody emotional wisdom, you are the grid walker. Meaning that you become a living portal or a living stargate. And you start, your resonance does the work for you. Okay? This grid walker, which again, top 5 cards. This is probably my favorite card of all, because you can see the grid is a part of her body. Okay? The grid is the ground that she walks on, is responding to her. Okay? A lot of people who are born by the water are grid walkers. That's why they try to eradicate y'all. Okay? Or let me say us. The reason why they try to eradicate us is because we hold the memory they keep trying to erase. Okay, when you got crystalline memory, that's pure clarity. That's pure clarity. Okay, you're a mirror to other, you show other people themselves. Okay, so the grid walker again is a major card. This is a major card. Okay, and you got a couple major cards here. 1, 2, this is three of them. Okay, so the grid walker is about earthwork, ley line work, sacred sites, planetary memory, embodied codes or embodied path, earth missions, frequency travel, multidimensional movement, sacred geography. Okay, so the grid walker is one who moves in rhythm with the earth's song lines. Those subtle currents of energy that flow through the land carry memory, codes, and ancient transmissions. When this card appears, the earth is calling you, not metaphorically, but literally. The grid walker appears when your soul is being activated to travel. This could be across earth, across time, or subtle planes to fulfill sacred assignments tied to planetary grids. This could also be in dreams, okay? Because when you travel, everybody who goes to sleep is traveling across the ley lines, okay? Meaning like you're astral projecting every single night, whether you know that you astral projecting. When you astral project across the ley lines, okay? So it also could be dream work. Whether conscious or not, you are anchoring codes into specific places, relationships, and timelines. Your body is a tuning fork. Your presence is the offering. Okay, so it's so important to master your emotional world, because then you become clear. Remember, I said you're a crystalline flame. This crystalline flame is a mirror for other people, and I got the mirror card before that. It's a mirror for other people, but it only can mirror for other people when it's clear. What you got to understand as well is that you didn't come here to be met. That was the hardest part for me to digest about what it is that my energy is here to do, because a lot of people are not going to see you and understand you. Okay, but you have to be comfortable in who you are, regardless of how you're being perceived by other people, because when you can be clear within yourself that you came here to reflect other people back to themselves, which helps you to collapse timelines. Okay, which helps you to activate stay buried codes, and it comes through resonance. You don't actually have to physically do anything. Okay, so grid walkers are often called to specific lands, communities, sacred sites, forgotten ruins, or energy centers where restoration is needed. You may feel the urge to move, journey, and sit in silence at places that hold deep energy. Trust it. This is not escapism, it's soul architecture. You're walking memory into earth. You may walk somewhere and feel time bend or memory stir. You're not imagining this. Your oversoul remembers, and earth remembers you. As a grid walker, you may carry dormant codes meant to reawaken in specific places, or may act as a vessel for planetary healing. Again, you carry a very, very rare energy. This is also a card of embodied mission, to walk with purpose, not rush. It speaks to pilgrimage, temple activation, and service that happens not only through speech or offering, but through presence. You may be asked to return to a place your soul once loved, or go somewhere new and listen. This card reminds you, you are not lost, you are being sent. Your oversoul is guiding your steps. So if you're being called to travel to certain places, and it's probably because there's something there that you're meant to activate by walking that land. What this lesson of this card is, you're not lost, you're being guided by memory stored in stone, which is Earth's bones. Earth's bones are crystalline stones, so are your bones. Okay, your body is the map to Earth's memory. Walk with intention, meaning like when you walk specific lands, you wake Earth up. All right, next we have the Six of Waters, and this is in shadow. So that means that even though the goal for you is this emotional mastery, I don't think you're there yet. Okay. So we have this Six of Waters energy, which is what came out when I said, where is she right now? Okay. Now, the Six of Water energy is about soul memory. Okay, but this is in the shadow side. So this is about escapism, about romanticizing the past, a fear of growing up, clinging to identity, or emotional regression. So in the shadow side, the soul memory becomes a fantasy loop. You may be becoming stuck in comfort of who you once were, longing for the past to return, or idealizing a time that never truly existed. There may be resistance to the present or avoidance of growth. This card can also point to emotional regression, falling into old patterns or roles because they are safe, even when they're no longer aligned with you. Sometimes the past is beautiful, but it's not meant to be relived. It's meant to be integrated, meaning like you might be struggling to integrate those childhood wounds. You might be struggling to integrate some of those bigger feelings, okay? What this advice of this card is, it's okay to honor the past, but don't live from there, okay? Integrate it, but don't live from there, okay? When you look back at the past, look at the lessons. And the lessons only, don't look at the details. What was it trying to teach you? So that, and only look back at the past when you're trying to navigate something that reminds you of that specific instant. Okay, because also you're multidimensional, which we're going to talk about in a second. But multidimensionality doesn't work in linear time. Okay, multidimension, or to anchor in this multidimensionality, again, like I said, you should only go back to that event if it's trying to help you navigate something that you're going through right now. Okay. Next, we have the multidimensional mirror, which also is a big thing. Okay. Again, top 5 out of the cards. You see there's different versions of this person here. Okay. Different versions of that person here. This came out for you in shadow though, which means this energy is out of alignment. When the multidimensional mirror is out of alignment, it's overwhelmed, spiritual overwhelm. You're fragmented in too many places. Okay, so this is timeline obsession, fragmentation, spiritual overwhelm, identity dissociation, a loss of presence, maybe projection, ego illusion, spiritual comparison. Okay, so in the shadow, the dimensional mirror can lead to over-identification with timelines. You may become caught in past life roles, future prophecies, or distorted karmic loops, losing presence in the now. Meaning like you're worried about the past or you're worried about the future. Okay, this may appear when you become overwhelmed by downloads or constantly seeking meaning in every moment, or using multidimensional awareness as a way to escape from your grounded life. There may also be a fear that am I doing this lifetime right? What if I repeat the same mistakes? Was I ever truly whole? Okay, so in the shadow, the dimensional mirror may reflect only what it expects or fears to see. You might be trapped in loops of self-judgment or lost in projections onto other people. You may compare your path to someone else's, believing they reflect something you lack, meaning like, I should be further in life. I should be here. That makes you dissatisfied with where you actually are. Okay. Rather than a truth you also hold. Distorted mirrors can lead to disorientation, spiritual bypassing, or identity fragmentation. What this card is telling you to do is to return to your center. The true mirror is always found within. These are echoes, not truths. Okay, so the shadow here is not your memory, it's your reaction to your memory. The remedy is presence. You are not bound by the past, you are its healer. Okay, so the trauma and stuff that you've been through, you have to learn how to integrate that and how to heal that and see the beauty in your experiences, because you're never going to be able to fully step into your multidimensionality until you stop looking at yourself as the victim of something. Okay, everything that you've been through up until this point is guiding you towards yourself. And again, I want you to start looking at yourself as a rare energy, because you are. Not everybody's going to look at life like you. Not everybody's going to think about shit in the same way that you think about shit. Okay? Because you're a rare energy. Okay? So the advice here is you're not every version of you. You are the one who remembers them, which means that don't get stuck in who you used to be. You're not that version anymore. It's okay for you to let that version go. You know, I had to let go of the version of me that was spiteful. I hurt people when I was spiteful. You know, but if I keep trying to say, well, you know, keep trying to move forward, and I'm like, no, but you this and you that. No, you're not. It's okay for you to evolve and change and grow. You know, don't let distortion become your compass. Don't let the shit that you did or the version of yourself that you've been, you know, become your compass, because it's not. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to evolve. Then we get the Queen of Flame. Okay, so we got the water mirror, but we also get the flame mirror as well, which means divine union. Okay, which you're here to bring back divine union. So it only makes sense that this is confirmation for what I pulled from the oracle cards that I do not sell. Okay, So this is about embodiment, radiant presence, intuitive fire, soul magnetism, sacred leadership, and activation through example. You need to become the example you want to see. Stop worrying about what everybody else got going on. Worry about yourself right now is what this whole reading is saying. You can't change them. You can't control them. You only can control you. The Queen of Flame, get comfortable with witnessing. I'm sorry, I'm channeling. Get comfortable with witnessing instead of fixing or saving. Okay? The Queen of Flame does not chase, prove, or convince. She becomes. Her fire is lived, not spoken. This card arises when you're being called into radiant embodiment. You are working your truth, and through that, others are inspired to find their own. The Queen is a mirror. What she activates in others is what she has dared to integrate within herself. This card invites you to stop second guessing the power of your presence. You are no longer just a flame bearer. You are the flame. There's no need to shout to be felt. Okay, this is sacred magnetism and asks you to trust devotion and courage to live visibly in your truth even when no one is watching. Okay, it's about integrity as well. Your embodiment is your transmission, which means you have to be more of yourself. Okay, you can't worry about how people are perceiving you. You got to honor yourself where you are. Okay, next we get the Nine of Waters. Okay, so a lot of water energy here, but the Nine of Waters is also in reverse. Okay, this card is about abundance and overflow, but in its shadow, it's about overindulgence, spiritual bypassing, false joy, chasing pleasure, ignoring your deeper wounds, or emotional avoidance. So in the shadow side, the overflow becomes a mask of joy, smiling while pain brews beneath. You may use pleasure, distractions, or spiritual talk to avoid deeper emotional healing. There can also be a sense of chasing the feeling of abundance without embodying the choice that leads to it. There's a difference between being full and being bloated. One is resonant, the other is escape. This card asks, are you truly fulfilled, or are you just refusing to feel what still wants to be seen? So the advice of this card is that joy that hides pain is not overflow. It's overflow with a leak. Okay. Next we get the Dream Code. But the Dream Code, again, major card, but it's in the shadow side. Okay. I don't know if you can see, but this is her dreaming. Do you see the codes and stuff that are emitting through the dream? And then we have somebody here watching. Okay. This is in the shadow side, which means a dream avoidance, fear of sleep, exhaustion, unresolved astral trauma, distortion, overexposure, doubt, future avoidance, fear of failure, over idealization. In the shadow side, the dream code reveals spiritual fatigue. You may be avoiding sleep or waking up disoriented, anxious, or depleted. Nights may feel like battlegrounds or simply like a void that offers no clarity. So you might be having dreams of being chased, or dreams might not be pleasant, or if you're not having dreams at all. This often points to unconscious resistance to what your oversoul is trying to show you, or exhaustion from nightly astral labor you didn't consent to. There may be unsealed portals, mimic beings. People get astral attachments that are to the back of their head right here, or unresolved soul work draining your field. You're not meant to suffer in your dreams. You're meant to receive and restore. Your dreams are the real version of you. They're the real world. Okay, it's actually where you get messages, especially if you are this Queen of Waters energy. Okay, so also when your dream codes enter in shadow, you may feel overwhelmed by what you sense or fear. You will never be able to live it. There may be doubt, perfectionism, or disconnection from your present moment. Sometimes we fear our dreams because it asks everything of us. Sometimes we escape into dream to avoid the work. The dream code invites you to come into right relation with vision, sacred, grounded, alive, not pressured or performance. Let the dream live again. Okay, so the advice of this card is you're not here to serve in every realm. Reclaim your rest as sacred. And don't dismiss your dream space as not real. It is literally your map. Okay. The last card here is the Sacred Mirror. The Two of Waters in reverse. Okay. So somebody could be mirroring you, or you could be mirroring somebody. So this is codependency, illusion of oneness, emotional fusion, projection, love addiction, or identity loss in connection. In the shadow, the sacred mirror becomes a distortion. Instead of reflecting you back to yourself, you may project your soul's longing onto someone else and believe they complete or define you. Emotional enmeshment can arise. You feel responsible for their feelings or forget where your truth ends and theirs begins. This card warns of illusion of oneness, mistaking closeness for union or connection for wholeness. you might be, meaning like you think that you fulfill them, they fulfill you. But divine union, which is what you're here to bring back, is about two whole beings coming together and sharing space together. But you take care of your emotional and physical needs, they take care of their emotional and physical needs. Okay, you might be chasing soulmates that avoid being with you, to avoid being with yourself. The mirror only becomes sacred when you know who you are without it. The advice here is a mirror should reveal you, not replace you. Okay, what I get from the Oversoul, my personal Oversoul deck, is Divine Union Flame, which means there's an indigo flame, a white gold flame, or a rose violet flame here. And it's here to restore sacred, divine, masculine, and feminine balance, which means you are going to be somebody who has more of a lover energy. You're going to long for connection, long for a relationship. You're going to ache for it. That's not a bad thing. It's because you can remember what it was like to actually fully be met. Okay. However, if you have a rose violet flame, then there is some fear of love, of true vulnerability, true intimacy. Okay. The gates here is soul union, a mirror field in inner marriage, which means you got to come into inner balance first before you can seek external balance. People who have this energies, they walk polarizing paths to unify opposites, which means that you could either have a lot of conflict in your life, or people may reject you or feel jealous of you, or things like that, because you reflect too clearly. You draw powerful soul mirrors, which can be teachers, caretakers, lovers. You trigger awakening in other people by being and a path of wholeness through devotion. I also got the mirror card, which function is to reflect true nature. Common lineages are going to be opal, rose gold, and sarah. The gift here is to awaken remembrance by showing others who they are without distortion. The shadow side is sometimes you absorb other people's wounds or withdrawing due to intensity of what is being mirrored. You might withdraw into yourself. And then I get the crystalline flame. The crystalline flame is pure clarity, divine architecture. They are grid keepers, which is grid keepers, frequency stabilizers, and they bring back sacred geometry, memory, and blueprint restoration. But the shadow side of this energy is it becomes rigid, it becomes focused on perfectionism, and it has a fear of distortion. Okay, so what I want to tell you, as somebody who is the mirror of all mirrors, meaning like I have a mirror flame myself, mirror energy is oftentimes very protective of feminine energy, meaning that a lot of times people will choose to mirror energy when they feel like love is not safe. Okay, meaning like in a previous lifetime you probably decided that love was not safe, otherwise you probably wouldn't be showing up in this energy. Okay, but you are actually here to restore divine union, which requires you to come into inner union first, loving yourself before you can fully be met externally. So what's really important for you right now is to sit in presence with yourself and in stillness with yourself, because there is a lot of what the cards are saying is that there's a emotional avoidance, and that's really what opens the door to what you came here to do, is when you actually integrate what it is that you've been through in your trauma and things like that. Okay, are you still with me, Yana? Does that make sense? Okay. All right, I'm gonna do a one card pull. I think I had Indy next. I'm gonna knock out these one card pulls. So I think it was Total Sense. Okay. Indy, are you still in the chat? That's my jam they was just playing. I don't have to run that back. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Let me get you real quick. And then I'm going to go to keys. All right. What do we got for Indy? Okay. We got the Ace of Waters in reverse. You're stirring, baby. You're stirring. All right, we got the Ace of Waters in reverse. Okay. Yes, I see you, Amy. Yep, I saw it. All right, so this is about emotional confusion, over-attachment, undefined longing, nostalgia, traps, false romanticism, and overwhelm. So in the shadow side, the soul stirring can feel like drowning in longing, which has been happening for me for the last 2 months. I think it's happening. Collective grief is coming up. You may sense something ancient awakening in you, but you don't know what it wants. There may be a tendency to over-attach to the first person idea or memory that triggers this feeling, meaning like feeling connected, believing they are the answer. This card in shadow often reflects a state of emotional fog. You are feeling deeply, but you may not have the tools to discern where that's leading you. You might romanticize the past, idealize potential partners, or become overwhelmed by a soul ache that seems to have no anchor. The advice here is longing is not a direction. It is a signal to turn inwards, because your body or your soul is stirring, it's speaking to you, and you got to figure out what it's trying to say. Okay, which means you got to sit in stillness. You got to sit with yourself. For me, what I realized over these last couple of months is that I have spent the last 4 years not letting anyone close to me. And I was longing and I was grieving because I wanted true connection, but I've literally pushed everybody away from me in my life, including my family. And I just kept saying, oh no, I love the relationships I have right now. Baby, you haven't even been involved in the relationships you have right now. And so I had to realize that I was longing for connection because I had decided that everybody was going to disappoint me, and that I was terrified of getting hurt again. So I just wanted everybody to get the fuck away from me. And now I'm in this place where I'm opening my heart space and I'm walking back fully into myself and allowing myself to be open. And it's very scary. Okay, that's for Indy. All right, so let's do keys. Because she came through next. And then I got my Texas hippie. Okay, keys, are you still with me, baby? Oh, you was ready to go, period. That's what I like. You welcome, Indy. Hey, Junk Molly. All right, let's see what we got for our girl, Keys. So, Keys, you're getting a full reading here. Let me get my throat ready. Let me turn this on because this song has a tendency to get stuck in my head. They definitely doing witchcraft. Okay. 1 second. All right. What is, ooh. That came out in the, but flips. Okay. Ooh, this is the second time I've gotten this card. And the first time was yesterday. Okay, we got soul memory coming up again. Yeah, you got some similar energy to one of my clients. Yeah, my love. Give me one more. Okay, let's see. What y'all laughing at? What you laughing at? Now I did a double backflip. Okay. All right. Oh, they being stuck in my head. Now, girl, for real. I don't got time for that. And it just keeps repeating, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'll be like, stop. I think they be marketing from the inside of us. Like Black Mirrors, they be marketing from the inside of us, because ain't no fucking way that I can't get rid of this. This song is chasing me down all fucking day. And I mean, I like the song, but they just be. Ooh, you got a bloodline energy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Blue flame, okay. Flame of boundaries, okay. Okay, we got a gift for you coming out too, my love. Do you sing? Who is this for? Keys? Do you sing? Or speak? Or write? Or... What eyes is burning? You speak. Okay. That's actually what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, no. Don't start. Hold on. Okay. Somebody taught me a trick that when my eyes start to water it, I can just use my dread on my lock to like wipe it, and it works perfectly. I love a little cheat code. Okay, let me turn this damn music down so I can speak. All right, so this is for keys. Keys, the first card that I get for you is the Five of Stone. I actually get a lot of earth energy for you, which makes sense because I got the card of the bloodline flame, which means that you are actually here to alchemize your bloodline. Okay, I've never done that before. Did you dry your eye gel? I did. Anytime like my eyes start watering or something, I just take my lock in and it fixes it. Like if it's burning or whatever. One of my clients taught me that, and she is a true angel. You know, you don't even know you got the impact that you got, baby girl, because she be saving my damn life. Cause my eyes is always doing some weird shit. Shit, hold on. Sorry, I'm also burning up. All right, so you get a lot of earth energy, my love, because you're here to clear your bloodline. Okay, which means that the ancestral trauma is probably deep. Make sure that your womb is not acting as a casket for your childhood trauma. Alchemize that womb. Okay, if you need help, I have a spiritual protection class. It was 3.5 hours. I'll teach you how to do energy work. But it's on my website. All right, so we get first the Five of Stone, which is about sacred lack. See, we think lack in sense of finances. If you have financial lack, you have spiritual lack. Okay, so this is about loss. This is about scarcity, rejection, exile, abandonment, soul testing, value recalibration, meaning like you gotta recalibrate what you place, what you measure your value based off of. And the forgotten flame. Okay, so the Five of Stone marks a season of emptiness, a moment when the world may feel cold, distant, or unsupportive. You may be facing rejection, financial difficulty, or a loss of support, and yet beneath the surface, something deeper is stirring. This card is not a card of punishment. It's about sacred excavation, a stripping away of external validation so you can remember your inherent worth without it. Okay, it often arrives when your soul is evolving, but your external reality has not caught up yet. You're not being forgotten, you are actually being forged. When you pull this card, you're being asked to look for what cannot be taken. Your essence, your flame, your remembrance. It's a time to return to your roots, to tend to your inner altar, and to rebuild from the inside out. So the lesson of this card is what you truly are cannot be lost. It can only be remembered. So that means that things might be falling apart financially. Things might be falling apart when it comes to supporting the people that are around you. You know, you might be ushering out the old for the new. Understand that that's what it actually is. You know, ushering out the old for the new. Space is being created because you have based your value on something that has nothing to do with what your energy is here to do. Okay, which could be money or work. You know, a lot of us base our value off of how much money we have. When in all turn, a lot of us can never be measured. We're priceless. All right. The second card I get is the Six of Flame. This card has only ever came out twice for me, and the first time was yesterday. Okay, this Six of Flame energy is the flame scene. Okay, it's about visibility. It's about acknowledgement, meaning you're supposed to be in the front. Okay, you're supposed to be speaking. You're supposed to be singing. You're supposed to be doing something because you're actually a tone weaver, which we're going to talk about in a second. So it's about recognition, resonance, visibility, acknowledgement, energetic confirmation, and soul impact. So the Six of Flame signals a moment of witnessing. Your flame is no longer just burning, it is being seen. You may receive recognition, invitations, praise, or confirmation that your path is reaching others. This is the mirror of aligned visibility, not because you demanded attention, but because you embody truth. Something you carry is making impact and the world is responding. This is a moment to receive, not to shrink, justify, or over-explain yourself. Just be who you are. Your flame is magnetic because it is real. Let this card remind you that being seen is not ego, it's evolution. You're not being crowned, you are being reflected in truth. The lesson here is visibility is not performance, it's the resonance made visible. Okay? Don't feel like you're performing, or don't get in that energy of performing, meaning thinking you got to do more. Quality over quantity. Okay? Next, we got the Six of Waters in reverse, which again is that soul memory. All right? So this is about escapism, romanticizing the past, the fear of growing up, a clinging to identities, emotional regression. So in the shadow, the soul memory becomes a fantasy loop. You may become stuck in the comfort of who you once were, longing for the past to return, or idealizing a time that never truly existed. There may be resistance to the presence or avoidance of growth. This card can also point to emotional regression, falling into old patterns or roles because they feel safe, even when they're not no longer aligned, which means that, you know, if you are somebody who is putting yourself out there, if you're a person who's focused on, if you're moving from a place of scarcity, you know, you could be focused on the outcome. And if you feel like the right people or enough people are not responding to you, then maybe you fall back into old roles, or you feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing this. What this card is basically saying is don't fall back into those old roles, because you're basing your value off of how many likes you have instead of how many people that you truly impact. Okay, it's like a recalibration kind of needs to happen there. Sometimes the past is beautiful, but it's not meant to be relived. It's meant to be integrated. Honor the past, but don't live there. Okay, don't live out of there. Then we have the Oversoul, which again, this is a major card. The Oversoul flame body, but we do have this in reverse, which is about, which coming in the shadow is about bypassing or disembodiment, escaping into spirit, Oversoul avoidance, identity drift, floating above, or resistance to embodiment, a fear of disruption. In the shadow, this card reflects a fear of truly inhabiting your vessel. You may cling to spiritual practices, visions, or downloads as a way to avoid life on earth. You may seek the Oversoul out there rather than remembering it's here, in your skin, in your breath, in your voice. Meaning like you're searching for answers outside of yourself instead of going within. There can be resistance to grounding your mission, to charging for your gifts as well. Meaning that if you are doing something publicly or visible, you may be like, well, I want it to be affordable, or may be afraid that people are not going to buy it at the price that you are worth. And so you might struggle with charging for your gifts. That's something I went through as well. To committing to form, to being seen as the real you as well. So there might be a fear of being perceived. Sometimes this fear is ancestral. Ooh, and I got the bloodline flame, so it could very much so be ancestral. Echoes of lifetimes when you were punished for being embodied in your truth, or it may be recently tied to a collapse or trauma. The shadow of this card appears when you're avoiding the descent. You may be clinging to lightness, insight, or non-attachment while your body, home, or relationships are asking for attention. There may also be fear. What will anchoring this truth cost me? You might be witnessing the falling away of roles, partnerships, or careers and mistaking it for failure, but it is your soul making space. This card calls you back to your roots, not as regression, but as restoration. You're not here to live above the earth. You're here to walk as your oversoul on earth. Meaning you got to become more present in your body, like actually get into your body. Your oversoul does not want you to float and wants you to be rooted. So the advice here is you cannot build your temple in the sky. Okay, in fantasy, you need to root it down in reality, Pisces energy. Okay, bring your light all the way down. Don't resist embodiment because it feels too heavy too, because a lot of times that I get this energy, she's a runner, she's a track star. You're avoiding the deep shit. You're avoiding actually paying attention to how you feel and doing something about it, you know. Next I get the Six of Waters in reverse again, and that's that same overflow card. Hold on, let me give it to you again so y'all can see. Okay. In the shadow, this is about spiritual bypassing, false joy, chasing pleasure, ignoring deeper wounds, or emotional avoidance. So that's confirmation. In the shadow, the oversoul becomes a mask of joy, smiling while pain brews beneath. You may use pleasure, distractions, or spiritual talk to avoid deeper emotional healing. There can also be a sense of chasing the feeling of abundance without embodying the choices that lead to it. There's a difference between being full and being bloated. One is resonant, the other is escape. This card asks, are you truly fulfilled, or are you just refusing to feel what still wants to be seen? The advice here is that joy that hides pain is not overflow, it's overflow with a leak. Okay. Next we have, damn it. Okay. Next we have the Knight of Stone. Okay, look at him, gorgeous. Tell me that's not your cousin. I got to say that every time because, anyways, the Knight of Stone is next, and he was in reverse. This is about stagnation, being overly cautious, fear of movement, stuck in planning, fear of failure, resistant to change. In the shadow, the Knight of Stone can become immobile, paralyzed by fear of doing it wrong, or stepping before everything is, or taking a step before everything is perfect. You may become overly focused on structure, plan, and preparation, avoiding the sacred risk that all creation requires. Meaning that clarity comes as you take the steps. You know, a lot of times perfectionism is the death of us. Perfectionism actually comes from societal conditioning, right? They want us to perform. They want us to just do more, right? And that means that urgency in doing more gets us what we want. However, the journey is not about perfectionism. It's about resonance. It's about alignment. It's about authenticity, and it's about refinement, meaning that you are meant to make mistakes, because it's through you making those mistakes that you learn what the right way is, because we learn through contrast. We got to see the wrong way so that we can see the right way, you know, and that's why everybody is a mirror to you, because you got to see the wrong way so that you can see the right way. You know, you're not supposed to look at people and judge people. You're supposed to look at people and say, had I made those decisions, that's where I would be. I'm glad I made the decisions I made. It solidifies and gives you confirmation about what you did, right? But some people need to see that mirror though, so they in their purpose, they in what they're supposed to be doing at that place, you know. So it's really important for you to understand that creation requires you to take risk. You know, anything in life is worth the risk. So you cannot overplan everything. What I've been telling people recently is do what you can do today, and worry about once you get what you say that you're gonna get done today. So say for instance, you want to go into herbalism. Today, what you can do is enroll in the herbalism class. You enroll in the herbalism class. After you get through the class, then you decide what the next step is, right? Because what if you you did all this planning and shit, and then you get in a class, and in the class you learn something, and now you have this plan to go in this direction, but something new just came to light. All there is today, you know? So don't plan super rigidly or super into the future, because things anything that you create needs room to breathe and evolve and grow. Okay? This card can often indicate being stuck in routine where safety has replaced growth. Alternatively, you may be ignoring your deeper calling because it feels too unrealistic or impractical. But truth does not wait for comfort, it asks for trust. The night shadow whispers, are you building or avoiding? The advice here is planning is sacred, but not if it keeps you from moving. Perfectionism causes stagnation, because when you worried about making the right step or getting it wrong, a lot of times you won't make a step at all if it's not the perfect step. But you didn't come here to be perfect. It is within those bad steps that you gain clarity. Okay? Trust yourself even when the path is uncertain. Then we get the King of Stone in upright. This is about sacred leadership. It's about integrity. It's about stability. It's about structure. It's about provision. It's about embodied authority, grounded service, and stewardship. The King of Stone is the keeper of sacred infrastructure, the one who has built not only for themselves, but for generations to come. This card signifies mature leadership rooted in integrity, meaning you got to be who you are. Someone who does not just hold power, but honor what they hold. Meaning that when you heal this Capricorn energy, this energy of devotion, this energy of creation, right? And you stop thinking like, oh, well, that's not practical. You release those self-imposed limitations. On the other side of that is actual abundance, right? But it requires integrity, meaning you got to feel your feelings. A lot of us are just doing what's safe, even though we're miserable. Even though we're miserable inside. That's not integrity. That's moving out of alignment, because if it was actual integrity, you'd be happy doing it. Right? That's what this card is really about. This card signifies mature leadership rooted in integrity. Somebody who does not just hold power, but honors what they hold. The king understands that stewardship is not control, it is care. You may be called now to lead, to mentor, to provide, or guide others from your grounded wisdom. You are in the position to shape systems that hold others, or tend to physical structures like businesses, homes, schools, spaces that reflect spiritual value. There is also a call to reclaim relationships with material reality. The body, the earth, your finances, your offerings, none are distractions from your path. They are your path. Okay, you're being asked to step fully into embodied sovereignty and create from a place of calm, ethical vision. So the lesson here is sacred power is not domination, it's devotion in structure. I wonder if that message I got earlier was for you. because, or maybe you were meant to do this reading for me, because Spirit told me earlier, they said devotion in form is what they told me. Devotion in form. And I said, what's form? They said structure. Devotion and structure. That was for, okay, that's for both of us, girl. Okay, anyways. The card that I get out of this oracle deck is the bloodline flame, which means a gift or a curse from your ancestral line is asking to be seen. The message is you are not the flame that ends what they could not name. Sorry, you are the flame that ends what they could not name and births what they could not dream. Okay, so there you need to pay attention to the patterns within your bloodline. There's either a curse or a gift that's looking to be seen. Then I also get the flame of boundaries, which is energetic sovereignty, a call to disentangle. The message is you are not available to distort, fully disengage. Meaning the things that are not making you feel good is disengage. Even if it's family, even if it's something you thought that you were going to have for the rest of your life, disengage. Okay. I also get the blue flame. This is again a speaking energy, and that's why I was just like, do you speak or do you sing or do you whatever? Because the card that also follows this is a speaking energy, and we got the visibility card, meaning you need to be in front, and you also supposed to be building something that's aligned with you right now. So the blue flame is oversoul authority, galactic memory, flame bearers of origin memory, which means that you hold original blueprints, original templates of the earth. Okay. Soul contract reading and flame mirroring. Okay. But in the shadow side, ego collapse, fear of misuse, meaning like you don't trust yourself, or soul overwhelmed. You become overwhelmed in what it is that you're here to do. And then you have a gift that came out, the tone weaver. Now the function of the tone weaver, they weave sound, frequency, and harmonic patterns, which means that when we speak, we activate people through tones. Okay. Singing and speaking is not for entertainment. Okay, you are activating light codes. You're sending out light codes to activate people. So your voice is important. Okay, the lineages are the seraphim, opal, and sarai lineages. The gift, it awakens remembrance through song, light language, vocal frequency, or resonance. Okay, the shadow side is that they silence themselves or they tone themselves down, feeling like other people don't hear them, meaning feeling unheard, feeling unseen. Okay. If you're feeling unheard and feeling unseen, understand that people who have the capacity to meet you will. Okay. Go where you're received. Go where you're received. If people are constantly telling you crazy or acting like what you have to say is an inconvenience to them or whatever the case may be, go where you're received. Leave them behind. They can't go where you're going. Okay. You got to be willing to get rid of everything from the old version of yourself in order for you to step into the new version of yourself, which means you can't play about you. You can't play about you, not in the slightest. Okay? You got to be willing to let it all go and let it all fall to shit. I will say I came from, somewhat of a toxic family dynamic. I ain't talked to my mama for 3 months. I ain't talked to my daddy for 2 years. I ain't no telling with my brother. And there's an understanding within my family that I will get the fuck on. One time I had to check my grandma about something, and she said, and it was nice. I ain't checking my granny, but I did have to tell her how I was feeling. And she literally said to me, "Don't hang up. I'm afraid that I'm never going to speak to you again." I hate that is how they feel about me. But at the same time, I got to put me first. Okay. Because I got to live this life, and I'm done living this life miserable and suffering and in pain because people are emotionally projecting or don't know how to heal. Fuck that. You deserve to be in a safe environment. You deserve to be around people who see you. So choose that, because it is a choice. You're not obligated to do anything. You're not responsible for other people. It is a choice. You get to choose. And by me choosing that, all of the rest of those relationships fell in line. And I don't get the same treatment as other people because I don't play that. And they know I don't play that. I would get off the phone in a jiffy. If I had a flip phone, I'd be smacking that shit down like Tia Kent. I would be gone. People don't have unconditional access to me. And I don't have unconditional tolerance. I don't play those games. Don't play those games about you. You know? But you're here to do something big, my love. I want you to step into that. Even when it's scary. I still don't have it figured out. I still struggle to this day. I still struggle. Okay? Texas Hippie. You still here, my love? Did y'all listen to the artist latest EP? Is so good. If y'all haven't, I highly recommend. All right. You are welcome, my love. Texas Hippie, how have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a long time. I've just recently started seeing you. Did you go on a hiatus or something? Texas Hippie? I feel like I used to see you way more often. I know I've been good. Okay. Gotcha. All right, let's see what we have for you, my love. Ooh. Okay. Hey, Riri. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. You got a lot of earth energy too. You got to get grounded, my love. Ooh, that came right on out and just slipped right into place. Period. What's crazy? Okay, I got to say this. No, I've been here, but I've been thinking of you, so it's synchronistic of you to be doing this. Okay, cool. Every card that I'm pulling for you, I'm getting confirmation in the middle of that. So this, and the cards are coming out so easily for you. Meaning like they just flipping the hell out. So this is definitely aligned. Okay, Grid Walker energy. Ooh. Anything else? Okay. No. Okay, fine. Sorry, I didn't want this reading to be that long. And they just like, nope. Okay. Yeah, there's some illusions there. So we got 9 cards, girl. The Pet Wrangler. Yes, I know. I remember you. You was one of my first readings as a medium. So I remember you in detail. Like I remember your reading in detail. I was literally just talking about you the other day. You and this girl Victoria, because y'all was like my first like big girl readings after doing the first mediumship mentorship. So I always remember that. You hold a special place in my heart, girl. Okay. What's that? Your surface energy is so upside down, my love. What the hell? What's going on? Girl, this reading was aligned for sure because when did that even happen? Yeah, you got star energy too. Alright, this is about to be long. I'm sorry, y'all. But this is interesting though. A lot of it is confirmation though, from previous cards. Alright, let's get you started, my love. So the first card that I get for you is the Waiting Flame, which is the 7 of Stone. Okay, look how gorgeous she is. Period. The Waiting Flame. This is coming out in the shadow though. So this is about impatience. It's about self-doubt. It's about abandoning the process, mistrusting, rushing the harvest, pulling up your roots too soon. Okay, so in the shadow, the waiting flame becomes unbearable. You may feel tempted to abandon your path out of frustration or fear that nothing is happening. Perhaps you've pulled up your roots too early in the past, searching for faster results or clear signs. The truth is, your doubt may be louder than your devotion right now. This card warns against interrupting divine cycles. Impatience can lead to sabotage. When your ego demands proof, it often digs up what the soul is still tending. You may feel discouraged, unseen, or restless, but this is not the time to quit. This is the time to deepen. The question becomes, can you love something enough to let it take time? Okay, the advice here is do not harvest a gift before it becomes itself, which means that a little bit of patience is needed right now. Okay, you're being formed, and nothing sometimes is sacred as well. What I get after that though is the 6 of energy, and then I get the 2 of balance, which means that you're leaking energy. And I don't know if that means that you are in this martyr energy where you're giving. It feels like you're giving out of guilt, which is depleting you. So this card is in reverse. This is what it looks like. You see energy exchange is happening. But in reverse, this is about overgiving, undervaluing yourself, martyrdom. It's about guilt in receiving, blocked abundance, spiritual bypassing through service. Okay, and you do have a service energy because I do have confirmation in the other cards. Your shadow. In the shadow, this card points to distorted giving. When generosity becomes depletion or receiving feels shameful. You may be giving too much without recognition or compensation, or refusing to accept help out of pride, guilt, or unworthiness. This shadow can also appear in spiritual work, offering your soul gifts freely while feeling uncomfortable naming your needs or charging for your time. You may fear that asking for support devalues your sacredness, but the truth is all sacred things are resourced. Water is sacred and it flows. The 6 of stone in the shadow asks, what belief ties your work to how little you need? What old pattern resists the flow? And the advice here is your worth is not proven by how little you receive. Okay, so you gotta, in order for you to truly be in flow in this lifetime, you have to learn how to receive. Okay, meaning that when you do work, you have to get something in return. Okay, because life is about energy exchange. Yes, money is the physical manifestation of that, but you don't always have to exchange through money. You know, even though society has made us dependent on that, you can exchange through trade. You can exchange through service. But if you do something for somebody else, then they need to IOU or something, right? You got to be open to receiving though, because that's the only way for you to actually get in flow. And you cannot overgive, because when you overgive, you are depleting yourself at the expense of other people. Okay, next I get the 2 of stone, which is actually what you need when you're in that depleted energy. This is one of my favorite cards as well, because look at that, baby. Couldn't have did it better. Harmony, rhythm, grounded movement, resource flow, sacred reciprocity, choice, adaptability, sustainability, sustainable energy, meaning that you giving from this place of depletion is not sustainable. Okay, so the 2 of stone is the temple dance. Hey, Hydra girl. It's the temple dance where form meets flow. Life asks you to tend to your energy with grace. This is the card of balance, not as perfection, but as a conscious engagement. You may be weighing your options, managing your time, or juggling responsibilities. The key is not to drop everything in pursuit of peace, but to listen to your inner rhythm. Meaning, pay attention to how things are making you feel. If you got to force yourself to do it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Say no. What I would be doing when it comes to people asking you for stuff is tell everybody I got to think about it. I got to think about it. Take at least 24 hours, because what happens is we commit to something, then we get home and we be like, why the fuck did I commit to that? I got this to do. And then you deprioritize yourself for other people, right? Tell everybody you got to think about it. Always. That's the first thing that come out of my mouth. I'm going to let you know. Okay. Where am I at? That's how you get in tune with your rhythm, because you need time to think. And this society pushes us towards urgency, so we don't have time to think and we overcommit in ourselves. Don't be like that, girl. I was miserable. I was depressed. I'm surprised I'm still here. Okay? That all pushed me to do the work that I do, though. Okay? So this card appears when your soul offering is beginning to move and your capacity must evolve with it. You are learning how to honor the sacred cycles of work and rest, action and stillness, receiving and giving. It is not about doing more. It's about doing what is aligned. Okay, and if you don't feel like it, you don't feel like it. Okay, what can you say? When you pull this card, check in. What is being overextended? Where is there too much weight? The 2 of stone invites you to restore the flow one breath at a time. Okay, so the lesson is balance is not stillness. It is a living rhythm, which means you got to get back into the rhythm of your body, which means you need to anchor into how things are making you feel. Okay, because that is going to be important for what is coming for you next. Next, we do have the Queen of Flame, okay? And she's gorgeous. Look at her. All those different flames around her. This is the flame mirror. This is about embodiment. This is about radiant presence. This is about intuitive fire, soul magnetism, activation through example, which means you need to kind of embody the example you want to see. Which means it's not your job to fix or save or help or heal people. It is your job to embody the example you want people to see. It's meaning, like, if y'all got a problem with communication, you learn how to communicate. They got a problem with compassion, you learn how to be compassionate. They got a problem with this, you learn how to be that, right? And then you become the example for them to see. And if they want your help, they'll come to you. Okay? So if they don't ask, you don't offer. Now, the Queen of Flame does not chase, prove, or convince. She becomes. Her fire is lived, not just spoken. This card arises when you're being called into radiant empowerment. You are walking your truth, and through that, others are inspired to find their own. The Queen is a mirror. What she activates in others is what she has dared to integrate within herself, which means you got to do the soul work. You got to heal, fix, and save yourself. Become the example you want to see, and that is how you help heal other people. Is you give them another option, meaning you are a mirror for them to see. It's not that people keep repeating these generational curses, is that they have not seen any other options. Give them another option, okay? Meaning by what you embody. This card invites you to stop second guessing the power of your presence. You are no longer just a flame bearer, you are the flame. There's no need to shout to be felt. This is sacred magnetism. It asks you to trust, it asks for devotion and the courage to live visibly in your truth. Meaning you got to be more of you. And when you're over giving or you're people pleasing, you're not being you at all. You end up feeling like you everything to everybody, but nobody is nothing to you. And it's because you're not showing up genuinely. People pleasing is a form of manipulation. You are doing things to win the favor of other people, but you're not doing it from a place of authenticity. You're doing it because you're trying to prove that you're a good mother, a good sister, a good daughter, a good, whatever. You are those things without you having to do something to prove or seek that external validation that tells you that. If you're a good mother, you're a good mother. You don't need anybody to say that. You were there. You are the witness of your own life. You should just know that you're a good mother because you've done everything X, Y, and Z, and Z, Y, and X to prove it. Right? So, the lesson here is your embodiment is the transmission. When you embody the energy, you start to help. You start to transmit the energy that needs to be seen. Next is the Three of Stone. Okay, the Three of Stone, but again, the Sacred Alliance, but it's in reverse. So the Three of Stone is about over-reliance on other people, unequal energy exchange, a lack of boundaries, group confusion, creative tension, and codependent projects. In the shadow, the collaboration becomes clouded. Perhaps you're depending too much on other people, unsure how to stand in your own voice, or maybe you're doing all the work while other people's coast on your energy. Misaligned partnership, clashing values, or a lack of shared vision can distort what was meant to be sacred. This card also warns against hiding behind collaboration as a way to avoid full responsibility of your own flame. Your contribution is essential, but it comes from sovereignty, not survival. Okay? Shadow collaboration asks, am I contributing from trust or lack? Do I feel seen, valued, and heard in this creation? True co-creation honors the flame in everyone. So the advice is not all who gathers are meant to build with you. So if you outgrowing people, outgrow them. Leave them where you found them. Stop trying to pick them up and take them with you, because then all of a sudden they become your anchor. And you're trying to get somewhere and they pulling you back down. Right? Next we get the Three of Waters. Okay? Confirmation. This is my gem. This is about soul family, emotional reunion, sacred celebration, joy and belonging, remembrance through community, heart resonance, and ceremonial joy. The Three of Waters is a ceremonial return to togetherness, meaning you are the type of person who does want to be of service. You are somebody who is generous in spirit with your time, with access, with all of these things, right? However, you got to use that with discernment. You have to in all relationships, mutual fairness and respect has to be there. Meaning that if you're giving, they have to be giving. You cannot be somebody who is pouring all your energy into a fucking void, because there is no bottom. They'll constantly come back and they'll constantly need more, and there's nothing left for you. And when you tap out, you go back to them and you say, hey, I ain't got no energy. Can you help me out? And they say no. And then they wait for you to fill your energy back up to come tap your well again. Fuck all that. Right? So it marks the joy of reunion when kindred souls come together, not from survival, but celebration. You may find yourself entering a sacred circle, a creative collaboration, a spiritual gathering, or a joyful friendship that feels like home, which means your soul family is being called in, but your soul family can only be called in when you let go of all these attachments. Because there's a difference between being connected with somebody, because a connection goes both ways. An attachment is going to siphon. It's one-sided. Okay, so your soul family is trying to come in, but it can't come in if you got all these attachments, And I don't know why I feel like you recently went into separation. Did you recently go into separation, or are you going into separation with somebody? In this card, we witness the emotional relief of being known. You no longer have to translate your frequency. There is laughter, tenderness, and shared memory. This is not ordinary community. It's soul family drawn together by river of remembrance. You're invited to honor your joy as ceremony and to trust that you don't have to walk the path in isolation. Let other people's witness your blooming. Let joy be shared. So the lesson here is joy deepens when it is witnessed by other people. We came here to witness other people. No, but I think all this is related to how much I have to give to my kids, and it's not reciprocated. Okay, I got you. I got you, my love. All right. So it feels like your soul family is coming in, my love. But you got to allow yourself to be witnessed. You got to allow yourself to be seen, which means you need to fully embody who you are, which means you got to move a little bit more authentically. I also get the grid walker, that you're a grid walker, okay? Which means you're deeply connected to the earth. Often too, this could also be about rootedness, you know, rooting yourself into earth, grounding yourself into the earth's frequency as well. So this is about ley lines, sacred sites, planetary memory, embodied path, earth missions, frequency travel, multidimensional movement. The grid walker is one who moves in rhythm with the earth's song lines, those subtle currents of energy that flow through the land, carry memory codes and ancient transmissions. When this card appears, the earth is calling you, not metaphorically, but literally, which means, again, ground yourself. You need to ground. The grid walker appears when your soul is being activated to travel across earth, time, or subtle planes to fulfill sacred assignments tied to the planetary grid. Whether conscious or not, you are anchoring codes into specific places, relationships, or timelines. Your body's a tuning fork, but your presence is the offering, meaning you got to really sit present with yourself. Okay, the adult children. Yeah. Grid walkers are often called to specific lands, communities, sacred sites, forgotten ruins, or energy centers where restoration is needed. You may feel the urge to move, to journey, or to sit in silence at places that hold deep energy. Trust that. This is not escapism, it's soul architecture. So I don't know if there's a place you've been thinking about going or visiting or anything like that. Something could be calling you. If not, you just are having grid walking energy, which means that your energy is probably not supposed to be tied down. It is supposed to explore a little bit, travel a little bit, see the world. As a grid walker, you are walking memory into earth. You may walk somewhere and feel time bend or memory stirs. You're not imagining this. Your oversoul remembers. As a grid walker, you may carry dormant codes meant to reawaken in specific places, or you may act as a vessel for planetary healing. This is also a card of embodied mission, to walk with purpose, not rush. It speaks to pilgrimage, temple activation, and service that happens not only through speech or offering, but through presence, which again, anchoring into your body, getting present. You may be asked to return to a place your soul once loved, love you back, love, or to go somewhere new and listen. This card reminds you, you are not lost, you are being sent. Your oversoul is guiding your steps. So the lesson of this card is, you're not lost, you're being guided by memory stored in stone. Your body is a map of earth's memory. Walk with intention, you know, walk through this with intention. But then I get this Eight of Waters energy, which is the grief gate, but it's actually in reverse. Which is the departure. The departure, and it's in reverse. Okay. Which is about emotional shutdown, guilt, fear of grief, delayed ending, soul numbing, and pretending that all is well. In the shadow, the departure becomes a ghost walk. You may physically leave, but carry the emotional burdens with you, or you may refuse to leave at all, clinging to a version of connection, identity, or comfort that no longer fits. You may avoid grieving altogether, pretending things are fine while quietly dying inside. This card shows up when you're staying out of a habit, fear, or misplaced guilt, but to postpone departure is to prolong disconnection from yourself and your path. The advice here is, leaving is not betrayal, it's an act of devotion to your truth. Okay? And then I have the Seven of Waters that follows that, which is about illusions. Okay? You see, she got different things in these cups. She got all these options in front of her. All right? It's about temptation. It's about fantasy. It's about multiple desires, confusion, spiritual distraction, discernment, and emotional overwhelm. So the Seven of Water reveals a moment of choice within a field of emotional possibility. You may be faced with many past people's or soul desires, and yet the more you look, the harder it becomes to feel clear. This card arrives when your heart is stirred, but your discernment is clouded. Not every cup is meant to be drunk from. Some are offerings, some are distractions, some are mirrors of your unspoken longing. This is a sacred moment of emotional sorting. The waters simmer with fantasy, potential, illusion, and truth, but only ones lead deeper into remembrance. You are being asked to slow down and feel beneath the surface of your desires. Which path feels like soul resonance, not ego escape? The lesson here is desire is holy, but only when it's truly yours. Meaning, like, what you want to do is super, super important right now. And it's really important for you to anchor into what you actually want to do and not what other people want you to do. You know, again, like I said, proper support, nurture, and care for other people is built on a foundation of self-love, which means you got to learn how to prioritize what you actually need, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay, what I get from the oracle cards is the flame of service. You are remembering why you came. The sacred labor of your oversoul is resurfacing. Okay, understand your work is not small. It is encoded with restoration. Meaning you did come here to live a life of service, but service doesn't require you to abandon yourself. It doesn't require martyrdom. Okay, I also get the flame of guilt. Guilt has come up 3 times in this reading. This is the service wound. So I get the flame of service, what you're here to do. Then I get the service wound, which comes from guilt. Over responsibility. A contract is ready to be released, which means this is past life. This is tied to a past life. You are not here to carry them all. You're only here to reflect them. And then the last thing that I get is the star lineages, which means you come from the star lineages. This could be silver blue, iridescent aqua, or sapphire. I don't know why I feel like that's actually silver blue, which is the energy of neutrality, which requires stillness, sitting with yourself, and you actually gonna be able to hear yourself, which means that your gifts come through silence, through stillness. When you can anchor into neutrality, you don't choose a side. You're basically witnessing instead of feeling like you need to fix or save or heal, help other people heal. When you stop feeling responsible for people and you move in alignment with yourself. And silver blue flame comes from Sirius B, and so it is water energy. It restores interdimensional access and cosmic memory. The gates that are associated with this is your throat. Your throat is responsible for you speaking up for yourself, speaking your needs, speaking your truth, setting healthy boundaries. And so you can't even get access to your flame lineages if you don't learn how to use this properly. Okay. It's also your pineal gland and your oversoul. What the fuck is that word? Oversoul channels, which is back here, the back of your head. Also behind your knees. High heart, which is here, which is compassion with empathy. Okay. So this is star seeds with light tones, dreamlike and crystalline in nature. They channel sound, movement, and galactic language. They walk between dimensions and experience chill, what the fuck? Oh, separation. Experience separation early. I'm gonna have to rewrite this, baby. They reactivate planetary grid systems and star codes. Okay, so you are a grid walker. So yes, that's it, my love. I'm a Libra, and it seems like there is a full moon, blood moon tonight. There is, and it's a lunar eclipse too. But we can't see it over here. You gotta be, and it's only an hour and 22 minutes, which I think is interesting because I think that's interesting. And it's, people can see it in the UK. Thank you, that resonates. Good, I'm glad to hear that, my love. I'm glad to hear that, my baby. All right. I'm a Gemini blood moon. Okay. Somebody else had asked me for a 1-card pull. Let me see if I could see that here. I can do so right now I think your natural and curly hair is absolutely beautiful. Thank you for being natural. Oh, thank you. It's locked up right now though. But I just got curly ends. But thank you. I'm doing full readings for 22 and free 1-card pulls. I'm doing good today, Callie. How are you? I miss you. I feel like I haven't been active, and so I ain't seen my people. Are you feeling better, my love? Hey, Leah. How you feeling? Are you feeling more confident in your energy work? Yeah, I can do a 1 card pull for you, Gerald. Thanks, Lisa. I'm glad to be back too, girl. My energy was tapped being around all them people, traveling and everything. I just was like, my goodness. This is for Gerald. What we got for Gerald? Okay, you actually got 2 cards, my love. You got the Sacred Collapse and you got the Mind Trap, which means there's a lot going on up here. And it could be because of the Sacred Collapse, okay? So the Sacred Collapse is actually in shadow, which means that it's a resistance to change or fear of surrender, avoidance, collapse, denial, clinging to false identities, fear of failure, spiritual bypassing, or collapsing out of shame. In the shadow, the Sacred Collapse is met with resistance. The bearer may fear letting go of a role, relationship, belief system, or structure that once brought them meaning, but now imprisons the soul. You may attempt to spiritually bypass your grief or rush the process of loss, mistaking collapse as failure. This is the ache of trying to resurrect something that is meant to die. You may try to fix or hold what's crumbling, not realizing that collapse is sacred. There can be guilt, a fear of being nothing, or shame about not being able to maintain the illusion of stability. But collapse is not failure. It's an invitation to be reformed in truth. Meaning, like, sometimes we build a life on a foundation that just is not sustainable, right? And so what happens in the Sacred Collapse is all that shit is knocked over, and we think that we failing because we think so linearly, when instead what's actually happening is everything is falling apart. Everything is falling together, like falling apart, so it can come together like the way that it's supposed to be, so it's more sustainable for you. So there is medicine in the mess. You are allowed to fall apart. The shadow is what tells you, I should be over this already. I should be somewhere else. I should have figured this out by now. But the soul responds and says, you are still becoming. You're always still becoming. Okay, so let go and let the fire do what it must. Let what needs to fall away, let it fall away. What's coming for you is probably better. Okay, the advice here is stop trying to resurrect what your soul already buried. Make room for rebirth. Don't cling to old versions of you out of fear of change. Okay, the next card that I get is the Mind Trap. This one's a fucking doozy. Because if you see her, she blindfolded, she in the dark, there's somebody back here, she got all this damn ear energy around her. She's overwhelmed. She's overwhelmed. She got too much fucking going on, right? And she's scared. All right, we get this card in reverse as well in the shadow. And this is about interference. It's about fear-based logic, mimic consciousness, learned helplessness, paralysis, or disbelief in self-liberation. Meaning you might have some self-imposed limitations. Okay, in the shadow, the mind trap convinces you that you are helpless. It may cloak itself as realism or being cautious, but at its core, it's a program of fear-based delayed. You may be absorbing mimic codes, external voices that sound like yours or not yours, meaning you might have an attachment. These can come from societal conditioning, ancestral fears, or past life trauma patterns looping in thought forms. The risk here is surrendering your sovereignty to a lie simply because you repeated it long enough to believe it. Meaning the shit that you telling yourself in your head, who needs an op? When the shit you telling yourself in your head is worse. Okay? So the advice here is, if the only thing keeping you bound is belief, change the belief system. Which means that you got to get out of your own way. You got to figure out what it is that you believe and what's holding you back, and choose another option. Because you think that you're stuck, but you're not. The limitations are self-imposed. You got to start fighting that voice back in your head as if it's not you. Become your own best friend. You know? Leah, I've been good, staying strong, you know, chin up, period. Period, my love. All right, what we got for Leah? Ooh, baby, you got one of my favorite cards. All of these are my favorite. Okay, who done came through? Still. Oh, okay, Lisa. Still. Okay, so we got a major card, but it's in reverse again. Okay, this is literally one of my favorite cards too, and they all might be my favorite. They all might be my favorite. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? I love this deck. But the shadow side is fear, stillness, rushing clarity, spiritual impatience, identity panic, void avoidance, disconnection, soul silence, existential drift, fear of annihilation, loss of identity. So the shadow of this card is not darkness, it is actually resistance to it. Okay, so you may be grasping for answers, clarities, roles, or timelines. You may feel like something is wrong because nothing is forming, but nothing is sacred too. Okay, so the soul must rest. The seed must root unseen before it blooms. So the void womb can feel terrifying to the personality or the ego. There may be a sense of being forgotten, emptied, or erased. Your old self doesn't really fit, but your new one hasn't really formed yet. So this is not a mistake. It's the oversoul dissolving the outgrown. So in the shadow side, one may try to rush into the next identity to escape the stillness or the incubation period, right? Where you're being formed, where you're being integrated. Or numb the vast silence with distractions, right? So avoiding the void may lead you to spiritual distraction, chasing movement for its own sake. But movement without meaning is just noise, which means that you is running from the silence, okay? Yet the womb does not birth what is not ready. You are being remade. That this is not collapse. It's a cocoon. It's a sacred cocoon. So don't rush what's blooming beneath the soil of your soul, just because we live in a society that pushes us towards performance. And so we think that movement is evolution, and it's not. Okay? You go through both cycles. So don't rush to fill the void. Let it speak first. Meaning like you're not hearing because you're moving too fast. Slow down and understand nothing is something too. Does that make sense, Leah? My girl Mariah is going outside right now. Girl, leave that man. I hate that for you, and I hate when it's a duck. Girl, shit. I remember when I was stupid. Yes, confirmed everything. Okay, good. I hate that for her, but I hope she put it in her music because I need that. I was, y'all, on my road trip with my mama and my brother. I had put on, my brother was like, he just now started getting on the Mariah train. And so I'm like running back the hits like, hey, you gotta listen to this, you gotta listen to that. My mama literally burst out of nowhere and was like, I'm tired of it. You're so fucking depressed and sad. I need something. Whoa, slow down, 10 speed. Damn. Can a lover girl love? Sis was pissed. I said, damn, I had to turn on some motherfucking Zapping Rogers, some Gap Man. I said, hold up, I would hate for you to have a conniption. Because I'm trying to feel something. Taj, I was literally going to text you about Taurus men. Oh, girl, don't. Don't. Y'all know I run a smear campaign against them. I never let them breathe. I'm never taking my foot off their neck. Never taking my foot off their neck. I had seen a post that was like, what's the worst sign you ever dated? And it was a Taurus woman who was like, I am a Taurus woman. We are not responsible for Taurus men. Because the Taurus men gonna live a double life. That's what they gonna do. They need to be caged. They're animals. They need to be caged. They need to be fucking caged. Anybody else want a one card pull while I'm still chilling? I'm about tired though. Tell me. Both my brothers, girl. I feel bad for the women they dealing with. Yes, because it's the Venus men. Because they operate in, Venus is a purely feminine energy. They're taking that purely feminine energy to manipulate women. They're taking it to manipulate women, and Libra men are worse because Taurus men gonna make you believe the dream. They gonna sell you the dream. It's like selling water to a fish. They gonna sell you the motherfucking dream because they understand what it is that you want, right? However, Libra men's mouth is reckless. Their mouth is reckless. So they just say any motherfucking thing. And they think that they right. And they understand connection, so they know how to get you there. They both know how to get you there. But their mouth is reckless. They make you want to pop them. Like, you don't even realize that your hand is swinging. That's how diabolical Libra, and it's like, who are you talking to? OMG, I literally said this to him. I said, you act like a woman. Yes. Because Taurus men who fear emotional vulnerability are the fucking worst. Who are stuck in that man's man because you don't even have masculine energy. You have purely feminine energy. Taurus is the feminine side of Venus. And y'all are denying that that is a part of you. So you can't see the beauty in your experiences and the beauty in life. And it's almost borderline narcissism, right? It's borderline narcissism because you can't see the beauty in your experiences. You don't have that self-love, right? Don't get me started. Because I can go all night. Y'all know I run the smear campaign and I will continue to solidify my position. Can I get a one card pull? You sure can, my love. Speaking of the cards, is there an update? Yes, I still need 10 more people, y'all. So hold on. I can actually tell you because I'm looking at it right now. Somebody wrote me about it earlier. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we need, oh yeah, no, because that's not one. We need 11 more. Yeah, he wanna power struggle, they like control. Yeah, you're not controlling shit. And I think that was my problem with Taurus men is that I cannot be controlled. We are in a standoff. And I know that I can outstubborn anybody. I actually think it's a flex. And it's not. But I actually think it's a flex. So, who do you think you're playing with? Who? I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Okay, Callie. All right, so I get the 2 of Waters. All right, so this is the Sacred Mirror in reverse, though. So if somebody's mirroring. So it's codependency, illusion of oneness, emotional fusion, projection, love addiction, or identity loss and connection. Yeah, I got you, Hydra. In shadow, the sacred mirror becomes a distortion. Instead of reflecting you back to yourself, you may project your soul's longing onto someone else or believe they complete or define you. Emotional enmeshment can arise. You feel responsible for their feelings or forget where your truth ends and theirs begin, meaning somebody's projecting onto you what they want. This card warns of illusion of oneness, mistaking closeness for union or connection for wholeness. You might be chasing soulmates to avoid being with yourself. The mirror only becomes sacred when you know who you are without it. The advice here is a mirror should reveal you, not replace you, which means you can't be in a relationship or a situation where they're completing you or you're completing them, because that's not really what sacred union is about. That's a false mirror. That's a false illusion of oneness. You need to be a whole person, whole healed person. That person also needs to be a whole healed person, and then y'all come together to share the space. Are you in a relationship, Kelly? I feel like I don't know that. This is the bop. Sasha, we don't deserve you, girl. All right, I think this will be the last one I'm doing because I think I got on here at 6. It's been 2 hours. I had to go outside and stare at the darkness, the lights in LA. Not no more, but that makes sense. Okay, got you. Hydra. What do you got for hype? Ooh. Let me get that another chance. Hold on. Oh, I got the same card for you, my love. The Void Wound in reverse. And fuck you too. Hold on. Alright. So the Void Wound in reverse is fear, stillness, rushing clarity, spiritual impatience, void avoidance, disconnection, soul silence, fear of annihilation, loss of identity. The shadow of this card is not darkness, it is resistance to it. You may be grasping for answers, clarities, roles, or timelines. You may feel like something is wrong because nothing is forming, but nothing is sacred too. The soul must rest, the seed must root unseen before it blooms. The void womb can feel terrifying to the personality or ego. There may be a sense of being forgotten, emptied, or erased. Old roles don't fit, but the new ones haven't formed. This is not a mistake. It is the oversoul dissolving the outgrown. In the shadow, one may try to rush into the next identity to escape the stillness or numb the vast silence with distractions. Avoiding the void may lead you to spiritual distraction, chasing movement for its own sake, but movement without meaning is noise. Yet the womb does not birth what is not ready. You are being remade. This is not collapse, it's a cocoon. Don't rush what blooms beneath the soil of your soul. Don't rush to fill the void. Let it speak first. I'm a lover girl too. Yes, me too, girl. I'm so much Venus energy, blah. Like I'm a Venus rising. No, sorry. Venus rising is crazy. I'm a Libra rising. I'm a Taurus sun with a Taurus Mercury and a Taurus Venus. Ugh. Gross. I hate being a lover girl because this world is just, ever since I was young, you know, like when I was doing my soul work and like the first conversation I had with my higher self, like she was showing me myself as a kid and like when I came here, like how I was so full of love and so, you know, whatever. And it's just like I wanted to be in people's skin. I wanted to breathe the air that they breathe. I wanted us to synchronize our heartbeats. Like I was like that kid. Like I just was clinging to your leg and I just loved, right? And then it was not safe for me to be that way. And so I kept trying to prove it to people and I kept trying to just show them like maybe you just don't see what I see. And they beat that shit out of me. They beat that shit. About 13 I was depressed and I'd given up on life. So yeah, I got 2 Taurus placements. I don't know what Venus needs with me. Girl, they need us to feel safe. To love and enjoy life fully, which means we got to be in connection with other people and see the beauty in our experiences and live our life through our senses and find the good views and explore like the good views, the good vibes, the good. She's needy. OMG, yes, my mother told me I used to walk up to strangers and hug them. Yes, like I feel like my brother even said when I was a kid, like my brother is a hard crowd. He's a Capricorn. He's a hard crowd. Like me and my mama brought home, my brother was like, who the fuck is this nigga? Like he would give people hell. And I felt so bad because I was just like, damn, like we don't even know them. Like you didn't give them a chance. My brother was just like, fuck no. But me, I was just like, I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy, like I'm like a social introvert. Meaning like I'm not gonna be my exuberant, vibrant self around everybody because discernment. But when I meet new people, until you give me a bad energy or you say something out your face that I don't like, I mean, will you cool with me? why am I being mean to you? You know? But people just don't feel that way. My brother used to tell me that, you know, like I look at the world in an unrealistic way. It's just like, oh, it's unrealistic to be open and to be honest and to be loving. But I mean, in this world, I mean, was he wrong? Was he wrong? Now I'm trying to unpack that shit right now in real time, which is fucking hard. It really is, because I already decided to clink and clamp down, and now I got to reopen because my spirit is stirring, and that's what my ancestors want. Look, y'all, my hair is locking. Can you see it? Y'all can't see this little bud, but this is month 4. Wait, you see that? Period. I'm so excited about that. Yeah, look at her. But anyways, yes, it's doing its thing. Yeah, so I just gotta, I don't know, it's like now I'm in a place where I truly do know who I am, and I love how compassionate I am and how gentle I am with people. Period. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa, you wasn't on earlier, but my eye was burning and I took my lock and I wiped my eye, and it was like, did you just wipe your eye with your lock? And I was like, yeah, it actually helps. Lisa doesn't even know how much of an angel she is because you changed my life. I love the locks on you. Thank you, boo. But yeah, I'm realizing that like even in the work that I do, like when I'm doing flame lineage readings and stuff like that, which are going fucking amazing, like I could not have asked for a better career choice, and it's something that doesn't exist. You know, like when people ask, well, I want to learn more about this, there's nothing. There's nowhere you could look for this. This came from the inside of me, which actually feels great, but it's so spot on. I've never gotten a bad review. Granted, I've only done like 5, but still, you know, it's just crazy how aligned it is. But oh, Laura said that. No, you told me that. Oh, you probably got it from Laura. You told me that though in one of our sessions, and I was like, no, girl, I just put grease in my hair, and I can't do that because that's what's causing the problem. And he was like, okay, and then I just tried it after that. I think it was in one of our sessions, but if not, Lisa, Laura, it don't even matter. Thank you. But what I realized too is that, like, you know, I used to think that my perspective was not important. I used to think that what I had to say was not important and that people just didn't listen to me. And so, you know, I was better off being quiet. And so, like, now to be in this space where, you know, I'm talking to people who are struggling with something, I think I do take on a very non-judgmental energy. Like, I've never been a judgmental person. It's just like, I feel like everybody going through shit. And like, I've been like that my whole fucking life. And then everybody deal with their shit differently. It's just how I like perceive things. I've been through a lot, and I come from a family that's, if I tell y'all think this shit was a telenovela, y'all think this shit was fucking Tyler Perry movie, and I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm not fucking kidding you. I've seen the worst of the worst. I was exposed to too much, too little, too fast, to all of the things. So who am I to judge? Okay, I've seen it all. But I love the way that I hold the space for other people, you know, and how compassionate I am, and how sometimes I just know what to say to people because I've been there, or because I've experienced it, or because I had to navigate it myself because of the environment I grew up in was just dark and toxic and whatever. So it's crazy to look at the growth when it comes to that, because I really did at a point in time just feel like what I had to say was worthless. You know, not for real. Your story has be having me clenching. Yes, girl. Insanity. But I think that I had to be in that environment because I think that's what allowed me to be neutral, that allowed me to be less judgmental. And I've always been a person who can kind of see both sides of the situation, because I've never thought linearly. Meaning, like, when somebody's telling me their story and the other person is telling me my story, I'm like, y'all both are right. You know, y'all emotions are right, but y'all emotional reactions are the fucking problem. Like, the way that you're reacting because of how you feel is causing the problem, not the actual thing, you know? And so now I'm in this position where I'm helping people to navigate that in spiritual mentorship, but also in these flame lineage readings. And it's like, hey, Chloe. Yes, I am, girl. I'm about to get off though. But now I'm in this place where I'm able to help people navigate that. And it's crazy how something I thought was, you know, at some point a damaged part of me because nobody was accepting me, or nobody was hearing me, or nobody was seeing me, now is the very gift that I use to help other people. And, you know, the very gift that I use to impact other people. And so that's why you cannot worry about what other people got to say, because people are fucking fickle. They don't even know themselves. How the fuck they gonna know you? You know? I can't wait till after the wedding I'm getting my flame reading. Oh, wait, aren't you getting married? When are you getting married? At the end of the month? I'm not gonna lie, friend, I completely fucking forgot. The 26th. I am so sorry, I completely forgot. I'm so excited for you though. I don't have threads. People were saying that I should, because if I had threads, like, all of my thoughts would be spilling out. No, the reason why I don't have threads, y'all, is because when I had Twitter, I was a fucking menace. Nobody should have known what was going on inside of my head. I exposed too much. And I don't even know if I trust myself to be on that no more. Because sometimes the things that be going on in my head really is diabolical. It really is. You know, I be saying impactful shit, but some other shit be going on up there too. That's why we need you. No. Yes, I'm excited and nervous. Oh, well, you met your person, boo. You know, that's a once in a lifetime type of thing. I really love y'all relationship, and for y'all to be so young and to be so in alignment with each other, or at least trying to be in alignment with each other, is insane. We all are insane on there. Yes, I know. And I'll be seeing people like post stuff and I'll be like, damn, I can't even read the full fucking caption. I'm like, damn, that was probably really good. But no, I'm not on Threads. Maybe I need to get on Threads. I feel like I got too many social medias right now. It's too many. Why they got a social media inside of a social media? Like, damn, like, this is too much going on. Threads is like the more healed version of Twitter. Okay, because I had to delete my Twitter because I said once my platforms and stuff started, actually I deleted it before then. But once my platforms and stuff started blowing. I said, let me go ahead and get rid of this. Let me go, because I don't need y'all going back through no tweets. I was 19. I was reckless. I used to fight all the time. I was beefing with everybody. It was just too much. Y'all don't even need to see me like that. I've come a long way. No, literally, every time I create an account for something, something else comes out. Yeah, like, please. Relax. It's moving too fast. Like, it's moving too fast. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I feel like even like, you know, you got an app for Facebook. You got an app for Facebook Messenger. I'm not doing that. I don't even got the Facebook app. I have to just get on and online, because I don't even be on Facebook like that. My brother really just be reporting to me what's going on there. But if you want a good key, that's where Facebook is, because people is just making a plum fool out of themselves on there. But yeah, no, they got 1,000 apps within the app. Like, I can't keep up with that. I got my attention span. I just got too much shit to do for that. But I think I would definitely contribute in a way, because I feel like too, like sometimes I be wanting to say stuff, but I just put it as like an Instagram story. I wish we make fan base more popular. What's that? What's that, Ronnie? Where do you make the most money on? Not TikTok. I really don't make money on any of my platforms. I make money for my services, and that's probably why I fucking struggle every month. And that's why I had to adjust my pricing properly, because I understand my value, my impact and stuff, and I think I just was putting myself in a scarcity mindset. But the only platform that I get paid off of is YouTube. I used to get and really last month I think I made $11. Like, it's nothing too crazy. But no, and it's crazy because my videos go viral, and then people who actually do make money will repost my video or post my video to their page, and they're just like standing there like, yeah, look at her, and they got 1 million followers and it's doing millions on their page, and they getting paid for what I said. So yeah, no, I don't make money off of any of my social medias but YouTube, and I made $11 last month, and I had 13,000 people come into my account. Yeah, you gotta get in the creator fund and make money. So I was in the creator fund before, but because of what I talk about, they don't move my content when I'm in a creator fund, and so it's either stay in the creator fund and don't get the visibility, meaning like I only get 400 people see my post, or get out of the creator fund and get the visibility. And to me, the visibility is just more important, because they have blackballed me. I deserved it though. I earned it, and I'm actually really proud of it, because fuck the patriarchy, you know. Yeah. You've woken up so much in so many people. Thank you. You deserve it all, literally. Thank you, Chloe. I appreciate that. I feel the same way too. But I just honestly have to just believe that it's all worth it. You know, I feel like this last month, I don't know what happened in this last month, but it's a fucking struggle. August was terrible, you know, and I'm used to, you know, being able to, you know, get what I need, you know, from my services. But August just was crazy. You know, I feel like I was losing clients left and right, and it just is what it is. You know, I think I'm also in a sacred collapse, which is what Spirit was telling me earlier. Like, I keep thinking that it's a failure, but I'm really just being realigned, energetic wise. And some of the clients that I've lost, it's just that they're not in alignment anymore, you know. And so that was kind of hard to understand, because it's like, yeah, I get that, but at the same time, I'm putting in the work, I'm devoted, you know, I don't always charge for even just getting on here and talking to y'all. Like, most of the stuff that I put out, that be some real shit that I feel like people need to hear, that's free, you know. So I just gotta believe that I'm being prepared, you know, and that's the way that I keep on looking at it. It's like, I'm being prepared, you know. I created something new. Not a lot of people are gonna understand, and it's okay, you know. I only really want the people who are in resonance with me anyway, you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and whatever happens is gonna have to happen, you know. Whatever happens is gonna have to happen. A Black-owned social media platform that is like Instagram and Clubhouse, and anyone can monetize their content. Girl, if I had the capacity for another social media, I would do it. What is it, like a stream? Is it like a streaming situation? I feel like September is gonna make it come back though, like the stock up before winter. Yeah, September, especially around the 22nd, which is the autumn equinox, is the time of abundance, especially for feminine energy. It actually is the beginning of the year. September 22nd is the new year that they tell you about in January. It's actually September 22nd. So it's actually rolling around, and that's what Spirit told me, 2 weeks. And so I just got to hold out for 2 weeks. And do you know what's exactly 2 weeks? The 21st, which is the Sunday before the equinox. So I said, okay, whatever. When I have the budget, I want to book a reading with you for real. You should, my love. You should. I offer Klarna and Afterpay, I think. But wait until you got the fund. Wait until your funds is together. But yeah, and if you do it on live, it's cheaper. The Mirror Flame live reflection readings, because we have to be witnessed. That is part of our journey, whether we know it or not. And so I'm trying to create this space where we can be witnessed, or maybe I'll say something to you that somebody else needs to hear. And so those are actually cheaper. So the readings that I was doing today are really $80 readings. Okay, but if you get them done on live, they $44. And sometimes I come on here and I'm generous and I'm like, give me $22, give me $11, we can do it. Or I do free readings and stuff. So I just got a new job. Congrats on your new job, my love. You too, Hydra. But yeah, I'm actually about to hop up here myself, y'all. I love y'all deep. I'm actually might be on here tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure though, because Mondays are usually the days that I get the podcast together and stuff like that. I got some administrative things to do. But I'll definitely be on here Tuesday, because I think I have a client who wants to do a live reading. And I think that I'm gonna do that on Tuesday. Ooh, am I gonna do that on Tuesday? I do got a flame lineage reading for somebody. A final session, the third session, which is about embodiment coaching and stuff like that. I'm really excited about for Tuesday. It'll probably be Tuesday or Thursday. I'll probably be on here Tuesday or Thursday, y'all. But I always put it in my Patreon when I'm going live, so that y'all know and y'all can hop on and we can just chit chat. You're amazing. Thank you for all your hard work. It'll pay off heavy. Thank you, Chloe. I appreciate you. Bye, y'all. I love y'all. I want you to have an amazing night, and I will see y'all soon. Alrighty. Bye.